Hello. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Hmm. Yeah, I'm not sure that's taking the right microphone.
Hey, Matty. That's more like it. That is the correct microphone. Cool. Right, let's just tweet out. Make sure people know that I have gone live. Going live. Fuck's sake. Hey, Daddy Dino. Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, I've had that happen a few times when I've had when I sort of yeah. Um, Guys, you don't have to tweet me to tell me if you're not gonna watch the stream. Might not come to this stream. I prefer when you look through unknown tapes potential. Well, piss off then. Oh, hello. Sorry, people. Yeah, so this is a slightly different stream to normal. Let me just. Hey, Richard. Ah, Lisa. Hey, you're very welcome. Chris. Yeah, life's alright. Had a McDonald's for lunch, so that was ill-advised, but did taste finger-licking good. Wound up already. That's a good. Yeah, people. Um, yeah. So this is going to be a slightly different stream to normal. Partly because at some point I'm going to have to mute my mic while I take a call from my pharmacist. Um, but also, let's see how long you get before work kicks off again. Hey, Dave. Well, it's good to have you for however long. Yeah. So basically, my sister. I've come down to my mum's at the moment. My sister lives nearby. I'm all right, Dan. Yeah, how are you guys? And yeah, my brother-in-law has a box of tapes, some of which are home videos. And the main reason she gave me was like, would you be able to transfer some of? Well, I'd offered to transfer some of these. Turns out most of them aren't home videos. I've been able to give them some nice sort of cherished footage and things, and his graduation with his mum, who's no longer with us, things like that. Blah blah blah. Because what I'm interested in is the tapes that aren't home videos, because they're the ones that I can show you on stream. So I mean, this one immediately stuck out to me. Home improv. Hang on, I've got an overlay for this. Damn it. Yeah. So, all my windows are in the way. Home improv, which initially I was like, is this going to be improvised comedy? Because that would be awesome. It's not. It's very tightly scripted non-comedy. Then I thought, well, maybe it's Home Improvement, the Tim Allen sitcom, also awesome, with Channel 4 ad breaks. It's not that. As you can see, man, mum, and some Chinese writing, because they are from China. Yeah. Mum, home improv. This is a nice background noise for Animal Crossing. Good, good. So, I've seen the first, 5 minutes of this. Hey, Rossop. So, we're literally just going to watch this video, all 2 odd hours of it. It's the Halifax Guide to Home Improvement. It's going to be very dry. it's going to be taking the idea of these being slow TV, slow streaming, far further than even that sitcom that we watched. I am happy it's not improv, Rich. I do not like... Well, I like improv when it's done well, which means I very rarely like improv. I just... Right. You saw my Twitter video, wasn't convinced it's not a porno. I'm not... I mean, I don't think so. That was dreadful. Sorry, on catch up. Well, you know, this is going to be a very slow thing. I mean, hopefully, between me and the chat, we can make it bearable. But you know, I appreciate that this stream will not be for everyone. You just don't have to tell me if it isn't. You know, it's fine. I get it. But if you just like, I'm not going to watch this because it's not the usual thing. What do you want me to do? Well, the usual thing, I suppose. Anyway, enough of that. Let's start watching, because I posted the first 5 minutes of it on, well, the first 2 minutes of it on Twitter, but, you know, no commentary, just straight video. Cool. Anyway, yes, let me, because we are going to watch this. It is going to be pain. Oh, hang on. Sorry, even though I gave myself plenty of time, you got timed out? Not by me, you didn't. Even though I gave myself plenty of time, I've not actually opened the video capture app, which some would say is a rookie error. I would say you're getting this for free, most of you. Deal with it. Right. Halifax. I thought there was something different. Just bear with. There we go. That's the screen you're all here to see. Now the sound's a bit muted on this, so I may need to adjust the sound levels. You'll have to guide me, because obviously I don't know. Hey Jimmy. You're quite excited for this. Is that weird? Yes. Yes, it is. Oh, it's from the Nightbot. I don't have a Nightbot.
It's all up here. Anyway, I've made a few notes.
Oh, David, look at your tongue.
Don't worry. I've got it all sorted out.
So I don't know how much we're going to be seeing of these two. Certainly they're an introductory framing device. Thanks for the host, Jack Ping.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
We've got an appointment to see Mr. Henderson.
I'll let him know you're here.
God, all those people queuing up. That's not social distancing.
Come this way, please.
No worries.
Hello.
Hey, Mandy. Yeah, we're all right.
Please come in and sit down. Thank you. Now, how can I help you?
We've come about getting
Oh,
some building
thank you
money.
for the subs, Rich.
Home improvement lady.
It does need a
Yes.
laugh track.
We want a bit of building work done and some
Knock
new
off Frank
radiators
Spencer.
and, the bathroom needs proper fixing up, and we want to do some general decorating round the house. Oh yeah, and we need a new main ring.
Pay attention, guys. This is the setup.
Sorry, a new ring main.
Yeah, late 80s, early
Have you
90s.
got
Not
any
quite
plans
sure.
or estimates for the work?
I did manage to jot down this sketch on the bus coming here. It shows where we'll probably want the new radiators and what colour we want the new lampshades to be.
And how many radiators will you need?
Well, we thought about 2. or 5?
They all look
My
well.
brother reckons
Yeah,
it
they
costs
all look a
between
bit
£1,000
familiar.
and £4,000 to do the work.
Ah, your brother's a chartered surveyor.
Not really, more of a driving instructor. But we do feel that the improvements will increase the market value of the property.
Look, before we go any further, I think you better have a look at this video.
Release the
Halifax
hounds.
have had
Beep,
it
beep,
made
beep,
to help
beep,
people
beep.
sort out their home improvement ideas. Why didn't you have a look at the
Yeah,
chapters
someone
that
said
we're
that last night on
with?
Twitter. It's not a
Come
young
back
Tony
and see me
Blair,
in a
but
week's
I can
time,
see it.
And then I'm sure that we can organise something for
Obviously,
you
it's
quite
not.
quickly.
You know, you didn't think that. I didn't think that. But so you're watching me, watching them, watching a video. Hope that's okay. Nice Sony TV there, yeah.
Hello, I'm Billy Eakin.
Hey, Bill.
You've just put into your video recorder the
How you
very
doing?
first in a series of videotapes from the Halifax
The
Home
video
Improvement
is in the
Library.
video.
The videos are designed to help you get to grips with home improvements in your house
I think
or flat.
we've only got one video in the Halifax Home
This
Improvement
particular video is
Library.
divided into 20 6-minute chapters. Each one covers
Remember when
an
you keep your
important area of home
VHS to your
improvement,
permanent record,
from
never
putting on a new
dreaming they'd
roof
be
to
replaced by
putting up
newer
new
technology.
curtains.
Yeah.
When the Halifax Building Society asked me to make this film to demonstrate how easy improving your home can be, the very first thing I did was to go to a number of leading
No,
manufacturers.
it wasn't. The very first
to
thing you
ask
did
them
was to
to
say
help
how
me
much.
show you exactly what we can achieve by home improvement. We looked for a fairly average property which was in need of renovation to demonstrate all the improvements.
Average? Looks bloody paradise. He is quite scary.
And I engaged Ian Howard, a chartered building surveyor, who in turn recommended the builder, Barry Ellis, to
Thank you,
carry out
Jimmy.
all
And
the
Bill
work.
does have skills.
With all the finishing detail and accessorising done by interior designer Linda Lowe, in conjunction with the manufacturers and British home
It's
stores.
just one of those BBC One daytime shows. I
The
mean,
video is designed so that you can easily pick out the exact chapter.
no,
or
you know,
group of
this
chapters
is going to be
that you're
useful
interested in.
to everyone in self-isolation, because now we'll know how to renovate our houses while we're in quarantine.
By using the fast forward and rewind buttons,
Come on, guys,
you
pay
can locate
attention.
exactly what you want to see. The first 20 seconds of each chapter has a chapter number and a symbol displayed in the bottom right-hand
Yeah, it's the same
corner of the
VCR
picture,
as them,
so
yeah.
you can find exactly where you are when you're using the visual search.
So just use the visual
Each
search,
chapter
guys.
is summarised in this 48-page colour booklet,
I don't
which
have the
comes with the
booklet.
video and is for you to keep as a permanent reference source and starting point for further
Fast forward
information.
and rewind.
So let's begin where all home improvements usually start, with raising the money.
And we're back to the
simplest
Halifax.
and quickest way of raising the money for home improvements is to approach your building society, though not the way our couple did.
The second quickest way is sex work.
I managed to jot down this sketch on the bus coming here.
Search.
But they've now taken the Halifax branch manager's advice and have sat down and done their homework. So let's see how they make out this time.
Ah, Mrs. Wendover.
They're going to make out. Cool.
Please sit down.
Thank you.
Ah, fuck, wreck the place.
Well,
They've not learned anything, he's just
Well, Mr.
bought a
Henderson,
suitcase.
We bought our house with a Halifax mortgage 3 years ago. And now we'd like to have, I think you call it a home improvement loan for some work which we want to do to the property.
We thought about it very carefully and we're sure that the work will increase the value of the house.
We've had estimates for the building work. One for £2,500.
It's just
the
pictures
other
of
for
planes.
just over 3,000.
That's just for the basic work, but that does include wiring, plumbing, extra.
They both have a great air of confidence now.
We
Yeah.
estimate the fittings will come to just over 1,500, but we plan to do all the decorations.
You're right, that is odd for
Allowing
them,
the
River Rose,
extras
isn't
and
it?
pieces,
They're
we
in the
thought we
video
ought
that
to
they're
have a
watching.
contingency amount on top of about £1,000. That makes £5,500.
are you having the work supervised by an architect or a surveyor?
No.
Yes, we've had a building surveyor drop the
Just
plans
some knob
and
off the
he put us
video.
in touch with one of the builders.
The other builder belongs to the Building Employers Confederation. And we found out that they run a guarantee scheme, which means you don't have to have a professional person to supervise the work. And they just charge 1% of the
This is a
contract
tough
price
one.
of the insurance cover.
And have you got building regulations
you, maybe.
approval for the structural work?
Yes. And we've also found out that we don't need any planning permission.
Have you checked whether there's any chance of you getting a local council improvement
We need to
grant?
draw a flowchart of the
yes, I
timeline.
picked up a leaflet from the local town hall, but I'm afraid there's not much chance in our case.
And by how much do you estimate your house value increasing?
Well, we bought our house for 31,000.
What's more unnatural, this dialogue or the dialogue from That's Love the other day?
£39,000 only last month.
And how much of your total cost would you like to borrow?
All of it, if possible, please.
Oh, fine. Yes, I think that we can arrange the lot. But I will have to get our valuer to give me an up-to-date valuation of the property.
Couldn't they have opened the meeting? I don't think this guy is a guy who does like small talk.
See? Yes, about
31,000, yeah.
Okay, if you need that to tell us how much we can borrow.
Well, yes, we do, because the total new loan will come to more than the original valuation.
Right. What about monthly payments?
Well, allowing for tax relief on interest on the first £30,000.
There will be a quiz later, by the way, so I hope you're paying
monthly
attention.
Interest payments to the Halifax will go up by £54.12. Now, the premium on additional life assurance would be £9.69. So
That is a
would
nice
make
calculator.
Your total new payment come to.
Is it a calculator or is it Ziggy?
Well, I think we can manage
Ziggy
that.
says there's a
David
98%
was
chance
promoted to
that
area
we need to
manager
kill
last
the
year,
fake
and
Tony
might
Blair
now go back
guy
to
in order to
section for
leap.
children at school.
We've worked out our monthly income and outgoings.
Oh, no.
Here's my last
Hey,
pay.
Vivian.
As you can see, together we're bringing in just over £1,400 before tax.
Yes, well, that's good enough for our purposes. But there are a couple of other points. Now, your builder may want stage payments, and with larger loans like yours, we're happy to arrange this. But it does mean that our valuer will have to re-inspect before each payment is released, and a small fee will have to be charged for his visits. And finally, he will reassess the replacement value of the property for insurance purposes. We will instruct Sun Alliance to increase your house insurance to the new figure when the improvements are complete.
So, do you think we'll be able to have our home improvement loan, Mr. Henderson?
Oh, I'm sure we'll be able to help you.
Rossop is
Very
definitely
likely
going to win the
help our
quiz.
members. Well, we've been through the details. Why don't you make out an application form while you're in the office?
Oh, come on, we've got to see them making out the application form. Otherwise, how will I know how to fill in an application form? Oh, man. Re-roofing.
When did you last take a look at the roof over your head? From down here, there doesn't appear to be anything much wrong up there.
No copying notes,
But when you
Lisa.
look at this drawing, prepared by our chartered
I mean, to
building
be fair, they
surveyor,
don't have a child with
you
them,
can see
Marcus,
that the
so
roof is in fact
maybe they
trying
never
to do the
have.
splits. The moral of this
What?
story is to make sure that you have a full structural survey before you buy a property, because all that looks well often isn't on close inspection. If you're unlucky
good
enough
advice
to
for
find a
life.
major structural fault, you must negotiate a new price based on the likely repair cost, and this is
New
exactly
Yankee
what
Workshop?
we do. Many rooms built between the walls are coming to the end of their useful life, not because they're structurally unsound, but because the coverings are starting to cause problems. Tiles start
Ah, could you
falling,
be
that
fucked
is
with this? Just
flaking
live in a
through frost
box.
action and weather, while slates start sliding because the fixing holes are wearing through.
And we're meant to believe that that was just
All
naturally
these
falling and he
telltale
was like,
signs that trouble's on its way.
I've got
Now
this.
let me warn you against two common alternatives to re-roofing.
Burglary.
Patching it yourself is perhaps the most tempting.
It's like
way
an
to
unsavoury
re-roof.
Peter Purvis.
It's cheap and any reasonably intelligent person can have a go at it.
Wow. Do it at night, why
Apart
wouldn't
from
you?
making your house look a mess, the chances are you'll have to repair it again and again. And you'll end up spending a lot of time and money in the long
Bill
run.
says that right.
Another short-term option is to slop a protective coating over the
I
tiles
don't know,
to
Marcus.
seal up
I
any
mean-
gaps and leaks. But it can ruin your entire roof by cutting off the air circulation in the roof space and aggravate timber decay.
And you will all die.
You can, however, re-roof a period house with second-hand or traditional clay tiles. But there's no guarantee on how long they will last. and they
Anything
can
to
also
stay
make
out
your
of the
bank account
bedroom.
cave in. All an ordinary house needs is a sound, good-looking, maintenance-free roof. So we asked Marley, the leaders in the field, to show us their comprehensive.
He's looking
range.
ever so slightly
For
above
which
the
we
camera.
chose Mendip Old English Red for our roof
This is meant to be
and
the
new
funny
porch.
bit, yeah.
The first thing they did was to strip the old roof.
No, but they're doing it at daytime. That's not right.
They then fitted reinforced bitumen felt underlay. This will help keep the dust and fine powder
Underlay. Arriba, arriba. Reading the script, yeah, that's
battens are nailed
that's
to the
got to be it.
rafters. They form the base on which the tiles are securely fixed.
There's got to be a script. I mean, Bill can't be coming up with this gold all by himself. That's how we all do hammering, isn't it?
Finally, they put on the ridge and verge tiles bedded in mortar.
Ever tried mixing mortar in the rain?
No, and neither have you. That was not
But
rain.
Marley also make a complete dry fix system, which allows work on your roof to continue despite the weather.
Wasn't bitumen the Japanese name for Battle of the Planets? Nice.
The great thing about this system is that it mechanically fixes the tiles without the need for mortar.
This is already funnier than
Most
that.
houses nowadays have gable roofs, for which the system was designed, and this new technology allows the ridge and eaves to be properly ventilated. Now, if your new tiles are going to last for a lifetime of your home, which indeed they will, it's important that the flashings, like those around this chimney, are made of a similar,
I feel like some of the people in this video are no stranger to flashings.
It's extremely malleable and can be easily dressed
Bill
to
is
fit
the daddy.
multi-curve contours of concrete roof tiles.
How many kids though? That's the question.
While you've got your scaffolding up, you should take the opportunity to check on the other higher up parts of your house. For
Makes
example,
sense.
the fascia and soffit board can often need replacing if it's sagging and pulling the guttering out of alignment because the timber's rotten. Now Marley make a very good low-cost
Perfect.
fascia
No more
soffit,
takes on that, Bill.
which does not need painting
Move
and
along.
requires little maintenance.
Hey, Arsenal.
You should also check on your chimney pointing and have any
Fuck,
chimney
it's
point
demolished
caps that
his
you're not
house.
using to cut off heat loss. If you've engaged a chartered building surveyor, he would normally recommend a reliable contractor. But otherwise, you can go to the National Federation of Roofing Contractors, who can advise on roofing problems and put you in touch with the right companies.
He's
As
never
with
read
all
that
major
book in his
works, get
life.
these two quotes. Check the estimates carefully to see who's looking after what. And if you're using more than one company on the job, make sure you know who is liable if there are any disasters.
I think that's the
Roofing is
idea,
one area
Chris,
where you
yeah.
might well need a Halifax home improvement loan to do the job, using top quality products from a manufacturer like Marley. Your new roof will help maintain the value of your property for many years to come.
They're embezzling the loan. I mean, however much the builders quote, it's going to be a lot more than that anyway, so... Hey, that's Bill, Arsenal. Leave off Bill. We like Bill. He's going to haunt our dreams.
Have you ever wondered where all the water goes? When you
No.
turn on the tap, or flush a lavatory,
No?
or hose down the car.
Oh, Bill, you little
The
maverick.
answer lies in the soil. The thousands of gallons of rainwater that fall
Or
each
will
year
they
on
be
your
in by
property and the
Christmas?
1,000 gallons of wastewater and sewerage an average household produces per day is disposed of in two ways.
Are those... Oh, they're potatoes,
All the
not
foul
not
water,
turds. I was
that
thinking
is
someone's
sewerage,
very
bath
unhealthy.
water, washing up water, flows into the main drainage system which runs outside your house.
Wow.
And all the surface water splashing down on your lawn
State-of-the-art
and drive
CGI
and
as
gushing
well.
down from the guttering is normally piped separately to a convenient discharge point, perhaps a natural stream, or allowed to disperse into the subsoil through a
Discharge.
constructed soakaway. This is all straightforward enough.
Utterly
but what
me-
happens if
Is
your
it?
drainage system becomes inadequate? Say, when you come to extend your house. That's exactly what has happened with this house.
Just move the bulldozer on the house.
The
Marcus
problem
is
was
right.
that the original drains were laid without a proper fall. And with all the increase in use from such modern appliances as washing
I mean,
machines,
I probably will, Emma, but
dishwashers,
Do you
There
think
were
it will?
occasions when the
I
water
feel like
would
it's the
back
kind of
up
thing that would
and
need
cause a snake
editing
blockage.
to go viral. I mean, people aren't going to sit through a
When you
whole
unearth
2-hour
your
video.
drains, this is probably what you'll find. Good old-fashioned clay pipe, been around for decades. And in its modern
Just
form,
like you, Bill.
still the very best for the job. With luck, you'll never have to relay or reconnect the entire drainage system. But you should always have the drains checked out by a
Stay
surveyor
on
before you
target.
buy a
Stay on
house.
target.
We've planned a second laboratory here, but the problem is that the original drain is on the other side of the
So you
house.
go to the bank and ask for a
we're
loan to do some
installing
home
a new one
improvements,
here to
and you
go.
come out with a video telling you how to do it yourself. Yeah.
Provided that you obtain local authority approval of your plans in advance, this is a job well within the grasp of a competent do-it-yourselfer.
I am a very competent
We
do-it-yourselfer.
hired an excavator to dig the new trench,
I've been doing it myself at least once a day for...
taking care not to
Many
interfere
years.
with any other pipe or
It's a
cable
wanky
connections
joke.
running to our
Ah,
house.
thank you for the bit, AJ. Fire 2
But generally,
photon
you'd
torpedoed
expect to
right
do
at
the
the
job by
house's shit
hand.
pipe.
Having prepared the trenches, you can then lay the pipes. These are vitrified clay again. The Hepworth supersleeve system. Plain end pipes and fittings which are easy to assemble. Like this.
Sorry, got carried away there. I mean, yeah, I know. I mean, Emma. I mean, talk about killing the vibe, Emma.
pipeline
But yeah, no,
is made
it
with
is
an
a good
equal
idea
wall
to
so
have
that
a
it'll
vague
flow
idea.
smoothly.
I'm sure this is. They've
You'll
got this
need to
soundtrack
provide
from a
access
porno.
at the head of each drain run, at a change of direction,
I don't think they
and
did
at or
that.
near pipe junctions. And one of the simplest ways of providing access to a drain for rodding purposes is to install
It's
rodding
quite all right,
pipes
Emma.
like this.
You're very correct. Hey, CJ.
Here we can introduce a piece of new
Rich
technology
says, yeah, I'm
from
going
the
to put this out there.
supersleeve
None
range.
of this
A
seems simple
ready-made
to me.
polypropylene inspection chamber.
I mean, I certainly couldn't do it.
This saves all the
I'll have
bother
to
of
ask
building
Al if his
this
mum
type
ever
of
attempted
chamber
all this on her
and
own,
ensures
because
that there'll be no
it was her
deterioration
video.
with age. Obviously, other plumbing discharges
Good
have
to see
be
you too,
accommodated
man.
in the
I-
system connected to the main
I'd say I
drain.
hope you're alright. I know you're not. You're not alright, and
If you need help
but you
with
know,
installation, you'll find that a
I hope
firm
you're
like Hepworth
alright.
will provide illustrated advice, or, if necessary, more technical guidance. The whole system has to be watertight, and the local authority will have to supervise a mandatory test before
Oh,
the trench is
awesome.
filled and the ground reinstated. The local authority will not normally allow rainwater to be discharged into a foul drain.
Wow, really?
If there is no surface water drainage, and providing the ground is permeable, you may be able
I think
to
most
connect
people have
your
just
rainwater
retreated
drains
now.
to a soakaway.
I did have a
This
McDonald's
is
for
a chamber
lunch.
built in the
I
ground to which the pipes from
I
your
ordered
roof
an Uber
gutters are
Eats. I was
connected.
like, it's the last day. I don't often have McDonald's, but
We've installed new plastic guttering from
Wow.
Bartol, another Hepworth company. And in this case, we've used an
Great
angular
eyebrow work,
profile
Bill.
instead of the more conventional half round.
To guard against
Hey,
the flooding
Becky.
of the
Speak of the
drive, we
devil.
put in a surface water drain here and connected it to the soakaway.
that was almost a smile there
If
from
you're the
Bill.
practical type, you might even
Oh,
want to
thank you
add
for the
to use a
host.
set of rodding equipment, so that in the event of a blockage, a fairly unlikely event with a modern drainage system, you can do the job for yourself.
No, I know what you mean, Chris, but I just had to.
With the drainage work complete, you can then put the garden back to rights, knowing that all's well below.
Oh god, we're only on number 4, guys. Patios, paths, pathos and drives. Ah, thanks for hosting, TJ.
Now look at this for a problem. A garden that's gone to seed, a grotty drive,
And a
that
big
drains
pervert standing
all
in the
the
middle.
water straight into the foundations of the house. Where
Where do we start?
There's 20 rolls
Well,
up.
that's as good a place as any, and while we're at it, we might as well get rid of the garage.
20 chapters. This is chapter 4. CJ Sandwich.
Well, that only took a day. Let's put down a new
With
surface.
music by
Called
Dudley
the Block
Simpson
Paving.
of the
It's
Radiophonic
manufactured
Workshop.
by Countryside Masonry.
It's very straightforward.
We can't find the
but it
bodies
does
just
require
yet.
Careful planning.
Oh, I see. There's two
Your
different
foundation
CJs
should be
now.
a firm, hardcore base with 2 inches of sharp sand.
One of whom cannot
and it
spell
should stay away
independent.
from the house.
I mean,
We'll
thank
also
you for
need
the
to build a
host,
storm
but
drain
mate.
to cope with excess.
Hey,
flooding.
Cyber.
The block should be laid interlocking.
Yes,
so the
there will be a
extra
test
space
at the
needed
end,
for a
and I think
driveway.
Rollsop's going to be administering it because I've not been paying attention.
Make the width of your drive an exact number of blocks. The edge will be firmer, and you will need fewer cut blocks. And for those you do have,
I feel like we already
use a
really know
Bowstone hammer.
what makes Bill tick. You've done that, have you, ZX? Well, we found the one person who does this stuff himself. That's some quality brick
Always
breaking
work
action,
off
though.
planks to avoid tilting or shifting the blocks which have been laid.
Bitumen underlay and lay.
Settle the blocks into place with a hard mechanical vibrator. The blocks will automatically be spaced correctly because of a built-in spacer.
Sorry, a hard mechanical vibrator.
So it's all practical. It's a very rewarding job. But of course, you can always get a contractor to do it.
Hey,
The main
Matt.
thing is that you will add real and lasting
No,
value to the
Bill,
property.
Bill is
And it's the
Dan,
sort of project that can
don't
be financed
doubt
by
Bill,
Halifax Home
okay?
Improvement Loan.
Bill is going to
The
be with
result,
us through this
with the
entire
garden landscape
process.
and looking trim and neat, is quite stunning.
I mean, what else is he going to be doing?
We could have rebuilt the garage, but a carport allows for unrestricted access.
A
And also
carport?
costs a lot less to construct.
The back garden, as you can see, has been let go completely. It has tremendous potential.
Bill
But
is
from
full
here,
of
I would
innuendo.
definitely say that we needed a large patio door and a terrace for summer.
And I've chosen this
Large
Derbyshire
patio door,
texture
am I right,
paving
guys?
for the patio, because it's especially light and easy to
Yeah, I'm
handle.
hoping the couple come back in some form.
If possible, it's best to start in a corner, laying the slabs on a firm mix of sand and cement.
So this is a video called the Halifax Home of Home Improvement or something.
You should level the ground,
It's a video from the
making a
Halifax
slight
rather than a
fall
TV show.
away from the house, and ensure that the finish is 6 inches below the damp-proof course. I've also marked out the area with pegs and
If
string.
you watch the video, Bill does you in and buries you within 7
Put a
days.
good trowel full
Bill
of
must be
cement
dead.
mix at each corner and one in the middle. Then gently
Feels
lay
like an
the slab
episode
in
of Red
position.
Letter Media. Bill
And
Plinkett.
tap it down with the wooden handle of a hammer or mallet, and check for accuracy with a spirit level. For our complicated corner piece, it's easier to cut the slab with a grinder.
Bill Aiken, I think his name is. I mean, Bill's Facebook profile
more
picture was last
straightforward
updated
cuts,
in
you'll only need a
2013.
Now, doesn't that make all the difference? Just look at the garden, a real transformation. The ornamental fish pond, the clever use of
Sorry, what?
paving in different styles, combined with cobblestones,
This is what the BBC will be showing in its current climate to keep our spirits up.
a super barbecue which is fun to use
It's
and
not.
build.
It's not looking great, is it?
In fact,
Partly 'cause it's got
there is
Bill
no
in it.
end to the number of possibilities and permutations with this reconstituted stone from countryside masonry. But don't just stop with your garden. Come in and look at this.
It's a marvellous way of making a modern fireplace, and it's certainly one way of coordinating the house
Used to be a
with the
quantity
garden.
surveyor, and there were people who built their own homes so
And
far.
all these ideas and many more are contained in these two great little booklets published by Countryside Masonry.
In them, you'll find all the information you need to tackle
God,
any
all
of
of this
these
is just
and any
about
more
spending
projects
more
with
money.
confidence.
When you come to sell your house, you'll find that prospective purchasers will take into account the added value of what you've done when
Stone
assessing the worth
Nuggets,
of the property.
ZX.
There you go.
I'd love to see how many takes it took to get that right. I think you might be right. Pyramid schemes with Bill. Oh,
You mean you don't recognize him? You should.
it's
he could
your
quite easily
mum.
been a non-paying resident in your house for years. He's a Nobium
So he's guilty
punctatus,
for all this
the common
fireplace we're
furniture
removing.
beetle. It's virtually impossible to barricade
Chapter
your house
5,
against this little devil.
Crucifixion.
While you will rarely see the beetle itself, you will certainly come across the telltale holes in wood made by its offspring. The only way to deal with them is to call in the experts.
Wow.
Floorboards are lifted. Water tanks are covered twice with polythene and a dust sheet.
This isn't Ghostbusters,
Loft
but it could be
insulation is rolled up and removed.
Ghostbusters.
Joists and rafters
Legally
are
not
vacuumed.
Ghostbusters.
The materials used are highly inflammable. The electric
It's
is
suddenly got all
switched
sci-fi.
off, junction boxes are covered.
I mean,
We're then ready for spraying.
sounds like someone farting in tune. Ghostbusters bought from Wish.
Where they find totally infested timber, they cut it out and replace it with treated new wood. Another threat to the house is rising damp. Probably the first thing you'll notice is a damp patch on the wall.
I still say another
Well,
threat to the
perhaps
house is
all crystals
Bill,
may form
but
on the brickwork or wallpaper, like this.
your Wish
It's
advert is so
important to discover
perverted
the
right now, I
cause.
don't think it's anything I've...
The first
Yeah,
step
yeah,
is to
roll
get
up.
Rentokil in and have a free survey carried out. Their specialist equipment helps correctly identify the exact cause and appropriate treatment. If they find that you haven't got a damp course, which is possible in an older house, or that the existing one is ineffective, their surveyor will give you a full report and a quotation for the work.
He's always got
If
wood
it's
down.
only a leaking downpipe or an overflowing gutter, or even a flower bed bridging an existing dam course,
Leakage,
your house
downpipe
will need no treatment.
leakage!
Just remove the source of the suspected damp, and your problems may be solved. But if remedial work is necessary, the damp plaster on the inside has to be taken off to a minimum of 3 feet above the line of the proposed new damp course.
Taking the bottom 4 feet of plaster off a wall to paint
The majority
some
of
magic
properties
glop.
requiring treatment are of a solid wall
Ah
construction.
yes, I
and
did
are
think
usually
of
treated from
Leonard
the
Rossiter,
outside.
yeah.
There are, however, occasions when properties with cavity walls require treatment. In these instances, it can be undertaken from either one or both sides of the wall. The holes are drilled and the wall is injected under pressure with Rentokil special silicon fluid.
Oh
This
yeah.
will cure and form a protective barrier to prevent moisture being drawn up into the wall. A special plaster, particularly resistant to damp, is applied. New treated skirtings are put on, followed by a second layer of plaster suitable for redecoration.
I mean,
Dry rot, however, is a very different
That's
story,
nice.
and is probably the worst thing that can happen to your house.
well,
A fungus which can spread anywhere, from room to room.
I mean, what could be
from
worse to
floor
happen to your house
floor,
than dry
through
rot?
plaster, brickwork,
Flooding.
and wood.
That would be
It
worse.
especially loves warmth and damp. And can
explosion.
totally wreck your
That'd be
house,
worse.
And frighteningly quickly once it gets a
A
home.
break from teaching French and maths. Hi,
There's only
Ian.
one cure,
How's
and
that
that's to
going?
cut out and
Are they still in their
destroy all
uniforms?
infected timber up to 1 meter beyond the infected area, and as you can imagine, it's a very expensive job.
This has the air of some early myth
And the work has
makers.
to be done thoroughly, not least because when you want to sell the house, the buyer should demand a cast iron guarantee. Now another form
Which
of rot,
these buyers
wet
presumably
rot.
didn't
This is
do.
not normally as serious as dry rot, as it hardly ever infects the surrounding walls. But it cannot be left unchecked. Like dry rot, it is caused by the wood getting
If you
and staying
discover any
wet
of these
enough
issues,
for the
just cover it
fungus
up
to
and sell it
germinate.
before it gets out of hand. That's more like it.
In this case, the timbers have rotted, probably because of a broken downpipe beneath the ground, and it'll be necessary to replace the timbers and deal with the cause of dampness.
Hey, Skill, actually, you have missed
Whilst
very
wet
little.
rot is most serious if present in the structural timbers of your house, it is most commonly seen at windows which have not been maintained
Oh,
properly,
no.
allowing the bottom of the frame to be constantly soaked by water. If it has not gone too far, a special renticle preparation can be injected into the woodwork, and which, combined with a special filler, can give a new lease of
Oh,
life.
well, I'm
Guaranteed
sure
for
you're
10
doing great
years.
work here. And it's,
A periodic look at your floorboards, furniture,
Although
and rafters
10-year-old
could
sounds
help
like
you
a swab,
discover any
so, you
problems
know.
early on.
better nip that in the bud.
There are plenty of DIY kits available, especially for treating furniture. But these can only be effective if used properly. A simple chair, maybe, but with the main structure of the house, ask yourself the question, could you guarantee your
Renticle
work for 30
preparation, my
years?
nickname at school.
And if you could, what do you think a prospective purchaser would think? By the same token, if you're thinking of using
Did he give
some
you an
small
apple this
firm or
morning?
one-man band to do the work for you, just ask yourself this.
Fuck the
In
chair.
an industry where some 600 new companies start up each year and about
I
the
know,
same
Matt.
number go out of
It's
business,
disgraceful.
what are the chances
You're
that
meant to be
your
remaining
little
indoors
firm's
and watching
30-year
me.
guarantee will be worth the paper it's printed on? With Renticle, who've been around for more than
1 week
50
on, 2
years,
weeks off.
you have a
That's
company
not
which
too
has
bad.
already seen some of its 30-year guarantees through. They will give you a guarantee for the work done.
Bill
You could also take out their
Bastards!
special insurance against future woodworm or wood rot attack in other parts of the house which are vulnerable. And that is quite a point.
God, how many companies
because
do you
there's
think have
actually
paid them
no
money
way
to
you
get
can
them
stop
to
our friend
shove them
Anavium
their way?
punctatum
Because
from flying around
Bill's
and
already
trying to
recommended
visit you
about
again.
5 times the loan in, like, contracts with other companies. Oh, aye. Here we go.
Half of all the houses in this country were built before the last war, and at least a third were built before even the First World War, when conditions were very different to the way in which we live now. For
See,
instance,
I'm
this
working the next 2
1930s house would
days.
benefit from internal alterations.
Would be the
It's
next
easy
4
to do
days,
with
but I've
modern
got
building materials.
2 days were booked
This
off
means
already.
we can think in terms of restructuring some of the rooms to achieve.
I
the
know.
right
Sorry,
size.
Scott. It's a bit difficult to do evening streams when I'm here at my mum's. You know, I can do occasional ones, but it feels like taking the piss a bit not to spend the time with her when she's here. You know, I'll try and do at least one evening stream a week if I can, but it's easier for me to do the daytime streams when she's at work. I'm here. It's
And build a decent shower.
Well, you know, I feel like maybe people are going to learn from this, Becky.
All we need now
Most of
is
us
a
are off at the most of the daytime. Yeah, well, thank you, CJ. And yeah,
Perhaps
thank
in
you
the
guys.
shape of
It's
an arch.
you know, I was genuinely
Do check
thinking about
first
this
whether
last
your
night,
wall
and
is
it's
load-bearing or not.
painting arcane messages for the new homeowners to discover under the
Of course,
carpet.
you'll need professional advice before you try anything like that. All that remains now is to build the wall. Bricks and mortar.
I just feel like when I die, Bill's going to be there.
Construct a timber stud
And he's
wall.
going to like, welcome to the
A very simple
afterlife.
operation, well within the capacity of most handymen, and not a hugely expensive task for a builder. You run a piece of timber on the floor, with a corresponding piece plumb above it into the ceiling joists, or into
I think
noggins
Bill
fixed
uses paint
between
for
them.
most things, Becky.
Fix
It's-
vertical timbers or
I
studs
don't even know what that
at
means.
both
but-
ends of the partition and in between.
What, does he think he's Penny Crayon drawing doors on the wall? Oh no, this will definitely be my legacy. I love you, but Well, I'd rather have those nightmares than the ones I've started having. I mean,
Then we need to brace the studs with horizontal knots.
I had my first someone I know has died by from the coronavirus nightmare last night, so
such as the
it's all up
basin
from
and
here.
mirror.
Luckily it wasn't someone I know that well, but still.
With the framing complete, we now put up the gyprock plasterboard. In fact, British Gypsum make a tapered edge plasterboard, which means that you can simply fill the joints for a complete finish, not requiring the skills of a plasterer, nor a lengthy drying out period. The boards are then cut 12 millimeters shorter than the floor to ceiling height, and as you can see, it cuts very easily.
She's already got 2 toilets here, Dave, so probably not.
Against the ceiling with a foot lifter.
Could you honestly be fucked with any? I mean, hey, if there's anyone who's in self-isolation at the moment and feels like trying some of this out, tweet me. Down there, let me know how you got on. You know, I am not responsible for any bodge DIY that happens as a result of this video. Mum requires a whole new house. We can do it all now. I mean, she rents this place. She doesn't own it, so. You've been in self-isolation for a year, yeah. It's a different thing when you have to be in self-isolation, though, isn't it?
Fill the joints with a special filler. Fill the tapered joints with a band of gyprock Jointex. Into this, bed their joint tape.
Glad to hear it, CJ. Too late, Chris. There is something actually quite calming about seeing that stuff smoothed down.
Over the first filling, and feather the edges with a sponge.
I feel like I could just watch 2 hours of people smoothing down wet stuff.
A final thin layer completes the process. As an additional touch,
just imagine how cracking this house will look by chapter 20. I hope so, Rossa. I really do.
Then with the skirting board added,
that wall is uneven AF. I mean, if you think you can do better, Becky.
It's best to use the gyprock drywall top coat to seal the ivory surface of the
jabroni drywall top coat.
The second coat will provide a vapor check treatment as well. Sealing it in this way enables the subsequent wet stripping of wallpaper.
I'll be honest, I have no idea what he's on about.
British Gypsum make all sorts of other plasterboards for different applications. And this one
You're meeting a man in the morning you met on Facebook Marketplace to buy eggs. Wow.
Outside walls.
Well, good luck. I hope they're bird eggs.
It has a
That's all I can say.
Polystyrene. To put this up, apply a special.
This guy's a cowboy, state of him. It's alright, Dan. I'll upload the video without any kind of interruptions after this.
Press the board into position and tamp it back.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, Chris, to see what happens when...
The board is then secured with gyprock nailable plugs. Thus
you were taught by your dad.
Fire,
nice.
The board stays in place.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens when they roll out this antibody test. How many people have already had it.
Meanwhile, with our stud wall, we have a super children's bedroom on one side.
But yeah, I mean, my sister...
bathroom on the other.
Because they're starting to kind of give staff supermarket staff a little bit of time in the morning to just kind of put a few bits aside. And yeah, my sister said yesterday if you could get me some eggs, because they're out. But I think there's going to be more things like that. I like CJ's Iceland now, as the kind of panic has passed, and yeah.
Electricity is something we all take for granted. I bet you couldn't keep count of the number of times you switch on and off electrical
Sorry, maybe I'm not meant to have said that.
An ordinary day.
I figure you guys understand it, but
when something goes wrong with it.
Maybe just don't tell everyone else that that's happening. Oh,
but
shit.
You might find out too late.
Sorry guys, what's happened?
Every year, 50 people are killed in electrical accidents.
It's
in
not
the home,
Ghostbusters,
and over
Ian.
3,000
Could be
fires
Ghostbusters
started
2.
from
Wasn't.
faulty electrics.
Yeah, it
Many
wasn't
of these
as good,
domestic
but
tragedies could have been avoided through a bit of caution and foresight.
Now, if you have a house like this, which hasn't been rewired for ages, you are especially at risk.
I mean the number of
You might
incidents
very
that
well
Bill's
still have
caused.
old cable, like this, which deteriorates with age and can leave live
Ghostbusters
wires
done by
exposed
farts,
behind switches
yeah.
and sockets. Certain types of older cable didn't have an earth wire, so, for example, if you have metal light fittings, they may well not be earth, which is
Toastbusters,
potentially
get out,
very
CJ.
dangerous.
So do what we did with our
Instaban.
typical 1930s property and take up the offer by MK Electric to have a free electrical survey carried out by a qualified electrician.
Is Charlie still down there? Yep.
Let us start with the place where the electricity comes
As
into your
ever,
house from the
Charlie
street,
is very
the
much.
distribution board.
I don't know if you
What
can
an ugly
see
mess
him
that
there.
is. Apart from having a confusing collection of fuse boxes,
No,
the
no, you
maze of
can't.
wiring is a potential hazard.
But anyway, there's a cat sleeping behind me.
Now, yours may not look as bad as our example.
There's usually
but
a cat
even if you
sleeping
have
behind
a
me.
fuse board such as this, you're not giving yourself the best possible protection.
Old-style fuses are perfectly safe in themselves, but when one
Bill
blows,
Warning, is so
one
sinister.
never
It
seems to be
is.
able to find the right gauge fuse wire.
Oh, you've turned the camera off, guys. The light's off, even.
So often people resort to homemade fuses like these, which can allow a serious fault in the ring main to go undetected.
Don't rewire yourself, get a pro. Good advice,
until
Becky.
it bursts into flames.
Jesus, Bill.
Much safer and less fiddly to install a modern consumer unit like this.
No fuse wire, only a row of miniature circuit breakers which turn
Oh,
themselves
he
off
is. He's
automatically when
amazing
they're
himself in the
overloaded.
daytime. It's just at
All you
night
have
when
to
I'm
do
trying to
to
get to sleep
restore
that he
power
started
is to throw back
coming
the
and say hello
switch.
to me.
The unit can also have built
Don't
in
use
what's called
80s
an
electronics.
earth
That is a
leakage
good advice
circuit
for us
breaker,
all.
an ELCB. This device constantly monitors the flow of electricity around your house. Whenever it detects
Half a
current
dozen eggs
leaking to
midday,
earth,
£2
it
a
immediately
bloke
cuts
called
off the
Willie.
power.
Turning what could have been...
I mean,
a
as I
total
say,
shock
good luck,
into a
Ian. I'm
small
sure, to be fair, I'm sure it'll be fine. But
It could come in handy
As
in
long
all
as Willie
sorts of
owns a farm.
unexpected ways. For example, at the instant the mower cut the cable, this happened. The ELCB inside detected a leak and immediately cut off the electricity supply. Without the circuit breaker,
of course,
he might
social
well have been
distancing, so
dead.
he's probably going to have to throw the eggs at you to get them to you.
A power drill cutting through a cable, the same thing happens. An exposed flex rubbing against the ironing board. Power cut off, and you live to iron again. In situations such as these and
I've
countless
never ironed
others,
in my
an
life.
ELCB cuts off the power instantly to prevent the user getting a fatal electric shock. There are even individual ELCBs for localized protection in garages and workshops. If you haven't got one, it's very
Yeah,
easy
my
to
mum
have one
says they've
connected to an
they've
existing
started just
installation.
having a go at people who aren't following the
And
rules.
here we come to another problem, and unfortunately, an all too familiar one.
Overloaded
This mess, apart
sockets.
from being a threatening sore course to walk round, is creating what's called the Christmas tree effect.
Too much power demand on one socket, tripping the fuse switch, or even starting a fire.
Our report emphasises the need to have sufficient 13-amp sockets strategically placed in each room to avoid
Exactly,
such a dangerous
Vivian.
mess.
While you're updating the electrical safety of your home, you can choose from a wide
I
variety of
dread to think how
accessories
many
with
things we
different
have
finishes
plugged
to
into
fit
and
in with the
into
rest
each
of your
plug
room.
socket now with extension cables and things. It's...
Furthermore, with the use of a
You had to
dimmer
call in the
switch, you
police,
can vary the
blimey.
lighting to suit your mood.
Oh man, I
Now
love
let
you.
me
I mean,
give a
stay
plug
safe, I love you. It's
To the humble
that's
plug. It's best to use an MK safety plug, which gives you a thoroughly reliable performance and something more.
A
People
guide
need to be
wiring
more like
properly,
Bill.
which is as far as anyone
Bill would
who's
never
qualified
punch a
should go
nurse.
when it comes to electrics in the
He
home.
might electrocute a nurse and bury her, but he would never
If you're ever
punch
in
a
doubt,
nurse.
why not take advantage of MK's offer of a free survey? It's better to repair things the day before they go wrong, rather than the day after.
That's insane, isn't it, Chris? It's...
Of course you need light to read, but it's just as important to have good lighting.
It's
to
become
make
a
each room in the house feel warm and lived in.
The thing is, it's not just the stress of it from people being angry rolls up.
And the purchase of a few table
It's
lamps
also
and
the
standard
people
lamps,
who,
your floorboards will
you
have to
know,
come up.
legitimately
And you
or
also have to have
otherwise, are
rewiring
coming to
set
them
in
with
them.
such,
But if your house needs rewiring,
you know,
like this
sob
one did,
stories,
Then
trying
that
to
is the
sort of
ideal
get
time to really plan the lighting you want.
past the rules,
Let's
or
start
just
with first
venting.
principles and see how
Um,
lighting can subtly
you
alter
know, I-
appearances.
And then he would fuck the nurse. He would. He would.
Natural light
Let's get back
coming
on
through a
track.
window gives
But
this
yeah,
effect.
I think it's
But
feeling a
with
bit like a
artificial light
Samaritan
from an
shift
ordinary
for
bulb overhead, the room
for
becomes
Mum at this
generally
point
much
as
brighter.
well. You know, and they're all kind
If we
of
change that for 2 spotlights,
talking to each
we
other
create
and
a
trying to
directional
debrief
light
each other.
which can
But
focus
yeah.
attention on particular areas of the room.
Anyway, Bill's left his
And
chair.
if we want
What's
to
going on?
create silhouettes, we put a light such as this standard lamp behind the armchair. The effect of an uplight from the front throws dramatic shadows on the wall. So you should consider both the type of light and its position.
I would watch a video of Bill telling ghost stories.
Now, bearing all this in mind, and with the help of the lighting department of British Home Stores, let's see what we
Quite
can
possibly,
achieve.
yeah.
You may think it strange to start at the back patio, but outside lighting can create wonderful effects.
Certain aspects and silhouettes of trees and plants are highlighted in ways never normally seen by day.
Now here under the carport, you certainly need lights, and these low-energy fittings are a very good idea.
Bill's back patio.
At the front,
yeah.
these porch lanterns flood the area with light and present a welcoming sight each evening. Step into the porch, and this is where low-energy fluorescent lights won't cost a fortune if left on late into the night.
Some designs claim up to 80% energy saving, with a life up to 5 times longer than an ordinary general service bulb.
Fluorescent tubes come in a wide range of lengths.
The light given out is cooler than standard incandescent
I
bulbs.
don't think we do
And
fluorescent
it's
strips
shadowless,
anymore, do we?
which is excellent for working areas.
They're spending
such as
too
in
much on
kitchen.
this house, says Arsenal. I mean, it's
These
alright, it's the
downlights
bank's money,
have
isn't
been
it?
dimmed to create a subdued
And the
setting
bank
for
is the
mealtime.
one who's making this video.
But they can equally well illuminate the whole room.
They're going to
For
be in
directional
debt for
light,
years.
You can use either a cluster of spotlights or else a track with spots to highlight the various areas and features of the room.
My favourite's when he walks
But
off
for
camera
general
after
areas
saying
of
his
the house,
line.
Such as the hall or landings, you need a good light in an attractive fitting. With clear bulbs, these glass fittings
That's the
sparkle, rather
idea.
like a chandelier. But see how different they look with pearl or frosted bulbs.
Oh, wow.
Now for bedrooms, you need a much more subdued kind of lighting altogether.
These mini downlighters
I missed
give a
that roll,
starlight
so-
effect over the bed.
This very delicate and feminine light, combined with the decorative alcove,
And soft downlights over the window
Bill's been
seats create a
cancelled.
most romantic setting.
look at the mood we've created here with
Imagine
these pretty
Bill in a
Colette
romantic
table lamps.
setting.
And we've inset downlighters within
Just
the
imagine
drapes
it.
around the bedhead.
I'm
And
going
what
to
a
make love to you
contrast
now.
next door with a
I used to
rainbow
have that
sphere and
lampshade.
fun pencils table lamp for children.
Sorry,
who,
that was
when they
way
grow
too
up,
excited.
will want something a little more high-tech.
But I did used to have that lampshade.
Even where you need the lights to be bright and businesslike, you still want the fittings to be in keeping with the design of the room. When you plan your lighting,
don't know
try
if
and
we
go to
want to see
places
Bill's
where a
bedroom.
designer has been at work, such as shop windows, restaurants, clubs, and other places which aim to
Not allowed
create
to go
a
there now.
particular kind of atmosphere.
Look through the lifestyle
The Red
magazines
Room.
and see some of the rooms which have been brought
Bill's
to
Red
life
Room
by a
of
brilliant
pain.
use of
Yeah.
lighting.
The lighting department of British Home Stores has some marvellous settings, and they really came up trumps in our back living room.
VHS?
Because in reality, it is 2 rooms, a living room at this end and a dining room at the far end.
Unless that was what you were referring to before and I
We've
missed
used
it.
the Yvette range from BHS, and these stylish white frames blend well with the modern furniture. As do these Nanette brass lights. And if we add uplighters beneath the plants, we create a
So
marvellous
bleeding
effect.
dark, turn some lights on. Yeah, sorry Daddy Dino,
Now, for the
I must
dining
try and
area,
match the
we have
mood
a
of
brass
this.
picture light complete with a dimmer switch.
Do I think Bill wore the same jumper?
Two downlighters have
I
been
think
positioned
Bill
to
has
create
just
arcs on the
20
full-length curtains,
copies of this jumper.
and they can be directed onto the table and softened by the dimmer.
Question is that a fake patch on the elbow or a real one?
Operate the motorized curtain track and just see how beautiful the terrace and garden is from here.
All the lighting effects you
This is
see
our
and much
relaxer
more
zone. Yep,
besides
sorry. I
are
won't get
contained in
excited
this
again.
beautiful book, published by British Home Stores. It really will help you plan your lighting successfully.
Automatic curtains. Wow. What do you think Bill's safe word is? I want to go for grouting.
Nostalgic, yes, but completely out of keeping with a modern kitchen.
I mean, this whole
It wouldn't
video
look
is
very good as a
completely out of
bedroom
keeping
either,
with the modern
let alone
kitchen.
sitting on a barbecue at the end of the garden.
Yet
What?
these are all places where you might want to make or receive a phone call. What you want is
Bill
a
doesn't
telephone
need a
that
safe
enhances
word. He
the
has no
surroundings.
limits.
Like this genie in the bedroom. And perhaps this slim tail in the living room. A cordless like this freeway, which can be used in the garden. And for here in the kitchen, there's no doubt that the Viscount Super 4
There's
is
phones
just the answer,
everywhere.
since all you have to do is
Jesus,
press this
Bill,
on-hook
tone it
guiding
down.
button,
Phone it
dial the
down.
number,
Hey, hey.
and carry on stirring the pot until your call connects.
Hi, Tessa. Oh, thank goodness you're in. I'm trying to make a Mornay sauce. Do I add the milk and the flour to the
Who's this
master
character who's just turned up?
Wait for the flour to cook in the butter and then add the milk.
batter? Okay, thanks. See you later. Bye.
A success.
Yeah, no, I'm fine, by the way. Thanks for asking.
This picture phone is also great for the kitchen.
All these telephones are part of the InPhone
I don't
range,
know, Rolsop.
sold by British Telecom. So now, for the price of a couple of years' rental, you can own your own phone and take it with you when you move.
All the InPhone equipment runs conveniently off the new plug-and socket system.
If it gets a bit noisy when taking an incoming call, you can always move to another room
When did we?
By
I don't
simply
think anybody
unplugging
has
the
ever
phone
talked like that, Becky.
and plugging it into another socket.
Maybe she's the mum of the two
Where it's
kids
a
in the
bit more
pond.
peaceful.
Yeah.
Ah, hello. There you are.
And with an
Ah, hello, there you are.
even greater freedom of
It's
movement
me,
around the
Bill.
house.
You can have up to 4 InPhones in your home, so before installing them...
We're watching
plan
one
where
right
you
now,
need
I
them
think.
most and place the sockets to
Biting
best suit
Trump's
your
Tasty
way of life.
Peach. But no,
One in the
no more
kitchen.
blueies yet. And thank you for the
Perhaps a
host.
socket in the bedroom, as well as one in the living room.
InPhones aren't just beautiful, they've got brains too.
Take this Scepter, an advanced electronic press-button InPhone in which you can store up to 10 of the
Scepter.
numbers you dial most. Just press, say, MR1, and your
Yeah,
number is dialed for you.
Yeah, his last
Another
name is
sophisticated,
Aiken, so
highly featured phone you can get is the
EYKYN.
Venue 24.
And I can't
This
tell if
model
he's
has
dead
a
or not,
24 number memory store.
because there's very little about
Last
him
number
online.
redial facility, as well as a digital display to prevent dialing mistakes. And a clock and call timer, which lets you know just how long you've been talking for, so you can keep control of your phone bill. Installing a money box payphone is also useful for encouraging economy amongst talkative teenagers.
Oh, can't speak long. I've got to pay for my own calls now.
Oh,
The machine can be switched by the owner for use as an ordinary phone, perfect for flat shares or if you have a lodger. If you want real flexibility with a phone, you want the cordless freeway.
there
Marvellous
is.
if you're
I
down
mean,
the
his
garden.
last Facebook profile
No mad
photo was
dash
in
where the phone
2013. And
Just
searching
say,
for Bill Aiken Death has come
hello?
up with the John William Warden brackets Bill
hang on a
Aiken,
second, Tessa, I just
who
want to put
died
the
on
fork
2nd
down.
November 2013. So
No, I'm down the garden digging.
there's quite a good chance that he's dead.
Do tell me how it works.
Yes, let me try and explain. It can operate 100 meters from the house with its aerial extended.
Oh, he was alive as late as
The base unit in the
2015.
house
Okay.
transmits and receives by radio the conversations from the cordless phone and sends it down the lines like an ordinary phone call.
I really must speak to Mary Venton.
Mary Venton.
Hello, this is Mary Benton speaking. I'm sorry I'm not here at the moment.
Sounds as if she's one up on me and has the Robin answer machine, which I can leave a message on.
When you're out and want to check if there are any calls waiting to be dealt with, you can phone your Robin and with a voice-activated signal, play back all your messages over the phone. What a useful machine. This way, if you work from home, or if you're tied up in a meeting, you'll never have to lose any business.
Now, all the telephones used in the UK must be approved by the British Approvals Board of Telecommunications, indicated by a green dot.
He wrote a book
And if
called
it's a
I'm
British
Beating
Telecom
Diabetes,
info,
So Can You.
You know
Wow.
it'll have been researched and tested to the highest standard. There are a mass of different infos to choose from to suit any room or mood.
If you're still
It's
feeling
a
nostalgic
shot.
for a traditional type of phone, try this modern version of an even older style, the Rondo.
Why does he have the phone so far away from his ear? It's like no one's really on the... I'm sure they are.
To see this video you've made, I must say you've given me some super ideas. In fact,
What?
I'm going to have a complete
So the couple is watching the video, which they are also in, and now Bill has phoned someone up who has just watched the video that he's made. This video. We're in too deep
It's not
on
all
this.
that long ago when our cities
Hello,
were full of
David,
smog
how are
winter
you?
caused by the coal fires trying vainly to keep the population
This is
warm.
segment number 10 of 20.
But things are much cleaner and easier
Banners!
nowadays, as most houses are centrally heated. However, if your house isn't, you need to make three main decisions, whether you are starting from scratch...
Thought I'd watch a
or
nice
bring
little
your
do-it-myself
system
video.
Which
David.
fuel to use, what kind of boiler and radiators most
There you
suit
go,
your
I'll
property,
give you that setup for
what
free.
controls and other means can be used to minimise your heating bill. First of all, the fuel.
Found a
It's lovely
few
having a
VHS sets with
roaring log
WWF
fire
wrestling
for
on.
toasting by.
Channel
It's
4
not
and
very
Sky.
practical for
I
many
vaguely
modern
remember that, yeah.
Solid fuel is the cheapest to buy, but it's hard work, bulky and messy. Electric fires are expensive, and while night storage heaters are less so, once you've paid for all the heat generated, you've got to use it, whether you want to or not. Oil, with its recent price rises, is no longer very popular.
Bit awkward.
And there's gas. Some isolated homes
Oil
are not
has
connected
fallen
to mains
to
gas supply.
record
And one
lows.
alternative is to install a bulk LP gas storage system like this one here.
The fact remains, however, that 3/4 of all installed central heating systems in this country
If
are
we watch
run
too
on
long, we'll
natural
all see
gas.
ourselves in
It's
Bill's
clean,
house.
efficient,
I mean,
has
we're all
no
dreaming
storage
about this guy
problems, and is
tonight, which I
popular
think
for
is
cooking. This
the
is
best
fuel
thing that could possibly
we've
come
chosen
out of this
for house.
project, you know?
Now let's look at the equipment. The system is made up of three main components.
Well, it's
The
good to
boiler,
talk, Dan. It's
the
good to talk.
radiators and the controls. Now the boiler is the heart of the system.
Oil is at a low point right about the time
Its
I don't
size
need
and
to buy.
capacity depends on how large your home is, and your heating engineer will calculate your requirements. The average house with, say, 5 to 7 radiators needs 40 to
gonna grab my
60,000
bottle.
BTU output.
You guys, you know, stick with Bill.
But basically, there are 4 different types. A freestanding unit, which can have the greatest output, if necessary up to 150,000 BTUs, and probably best situated in the kitchen. Or a wall-mounted unit, output up to 80,000 BTUs, which can become part of the furniture, like this Apollo. But if sited in a cupboard, it must conform to the minimum ventilation standard. The third option is a back boiler, such as this house warmer, with a 45,000 BTU output, which fits behind this
Honestly,
spectacular
Charlie
bar,
could not be
also
less
made by
interested
Thorny
in this stream or Bill. Yeah, go on, David. Give us a great
Fourthly,
Netflix
there is the
recommendation.
combination unit. An ingenious idea because it can be installed almost anywhere. Needs no tanks in the roof or a cylinder in an airing cupboard. A sensor in the unit turns on a tap, so you get a constant flow of hot water, and when you turn off the tap, it returns to the business of central heating. Now we come to the radiators. There are two basic choices. Straightforward panel radiators, such as these, or superconvectors, which give a greater output of heat from its two panels without taking up
We all have
extra space.
superconvectors now, don't we?
The boiler and radiators are regulated through a central control box at the boiler, like this one, and allows you to control the hot water and the central heating separately.
Was that Bill's
The
hand? It's
standard
very
version gives you
grey.
2 setting options a day, while the more advanced model increases this to 4.
By careful planning, you can ensure that the boiler is only working when you're in and need it. What I like
I've got
is
work
that if you
tomorrow.
have a power failure,
Biting.
The clock
It's.
goes on working with a standby battery.
Oh,
And when power is restored,
I didn't
it'll
read the
recharge
link, but I saw
battery.
someone tweeting about this earlier.
The main thermostat governs the overall temperature for the house. It's best to keep it in a cooler
Tiger
place
King,
like
Murder,
the hall,
Madness, and
rather than
Murder,
say the
Mayhem, and
kitchen, where
Madness.
a hot oven would give a false impression of the temperature of the rest of the house. Try keeping it just 1 degree less than you'd like and see
You're
how
sat
much
by
money you
grotty
save.
old panel rate, I mean.
But one really sensible thing to do is to fit thermostatic controls to each radiator, and that way you can really control the heat in each room. If the children are off
watch
to
that after
school
this then.
early,
Thanks,
the
David.
thermostat can keep the room cooler. Back home doing the homework, and it can bring the room up to a comfortable warmth.
Yeah, I know that feeling, ZX.
Simple to install and well worth it.
The one thing that a radiator cannot do, which a fire can, is give you a focal point for a sitting room.
Once again, there are 2 choices. An imitation coal fire that is designed to heat a room, like this one. Very useful if the central heating is off and you're experiencing a British summer. Or perhaps you might prefer this design. But this model, called the through flue, can even be
No worries,
installed
Becky.
without a chimney.
On the other hand, you can have a purely decorative fire, which, while it provides some warmth, is there just for its effect. A super idea to go with central
Just
heating and make
if everyone
realistic.
can wait until
I'll
after
provide
number
these
20
leaflets, and I'm sure you'll
to go
find
off
a
and watch
style that
Tiger
suits your
King,
room.
because, you know,
With all that it costs to keep a house warm, it's essential that you insulate as much as possible, with loft insulation, wall insulation, double glazing. That's the best way to keep your fuel bills down.
no worries, David. See you, man. You too.
Do you ever get that sort of feeling that there's something not quite right with your house?
Oh, come on.
The
David's
walls
not a
are good and
broadsheet
sturdy,
reader.
The loft slag, the central heating's pumping away. Yet your sitting room feels as if it's on the wrong side of the front door.
Bill,
A lot of people choose to do double glazing for that very reason.
Ron, you're
The
the
least
robber's
expensive
daughter.
form of double glazing is what's called secondary double glazing.
We're
One you
over
can do
halfway through
yourself.
now, Rollsop, I think.
At its
I'm
most
glad to
basic,
hear it, Dan,
it's
like,
this.
because, I mean, we've really
Glorified
set
cling
ourselves
film
something here.
Stretched taut over the window frame.
Do I
This
regret
sealed
saying
box
we'll
is
watch
the
this
same
in
in
its
principle,
entirety?
But
Yes.
with one very dangerous
Yes, I
difference.
do, but
Far, you wouldn't
what
get
can
out
I
in a
do?
hurry.
I can't turn the stream off, so
To be able to live
We're
with
here.
your double glazing and make it a worthwhile investment, your window should be like this, so that you can open it easily
Thank you,
to let fresh
Crypto.
air into your room regularly.
Hi.
This is very important because of the need to eliminate the threat of
It's
condensation.
such a weird thing. It's
Just through living and breathing, we humans expel several litres of water a day into the atmosphere.
we can do it.
Add
We're
to
in this
that
together,
all-in
absolutely.
kettles, steamy bathrooms, and the whole house soon
And if we can
becomes
make it
filled
through
with
this, we can make it
moisture-laden
through
air.
anything, right?
So remember, when you insulate, ventilate. Fitting good secondary glazing yourself is not easy, because to work efficiently, the unit has to be made
Just when
to
I
fit the
found this
window
video,
frame
I'm like, this is the
perfectly.
kind of thing we
So
just have to
invited
watch as a
Thermosol
group.
to show us how it should be done.
Cowboys.
Having taken careful measurements, a new inner frame is prepared and screwed into the existing frame.
I think we might well be the first people to watch this from start to finish, yeah.
The glass panels are slotted into the felt seal ridges and the windows slide open and
Yeah.
close easily.
When you insulate, ventilate. ventilate. I think it might well be correct. No, this is the Halifax home-to-home improvement. Yeah, it's the Halifax Guide to Home Improvement corporate video.
If you want to preserve the original facade of your house, providing your existing.
Hey Gary, how are you? Yep, no boredom here. We're all having a great time watching a very entertaining video with a guy called Bill,
do need replacing because they're old and drafty,
who is not a sex pest.
To make the replacement windows double glazed.
And in fact, the vast majority of professionally installed replacement windows are just that.
He's coming in!
The whole window is taken out.
Christ, imagine seeing him coming at your window.
Replacement window is put in.
I mean...
And if you prefer Georgian or leaded lights, you can have them too. They make it look easy, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, I'll be uploading the clean video of this to YouTube so that everyone can just get renovating their houses in these dark times. It's quite possibly crypto. I say you buy one, you get one free.
Having taken out the old frame, they slot in a new hardwood outer frame, pre-built to your exact specifications in the factory.
So much action. Is this the Fast and the Furious? No, Bill likes it slow and low. Your nan is absolutely mesmerised because she used to work for Halifax. Awesome.
The sides of the frame are sealed with mastic to prevent water seeping through.
I miss that, Chris.
Are then fixed into
I'm just going to say yes, he was, though. Yeah.
Windows.
Yeah, hi, biting Trump's tasty peaches now. It is a weird name that your kids gave
can confidently offer you
their child, but your kid,
doesn't that look nice?
That one of your children gave one of their children.
This cutaway section of one of their windows shows how the company has solved
those two have side gigs as porn stars.
Firstly, they found a way of stopping the coal from coming through the frame itself by introducing what they call
you think Bill did the whole tape just to get the new window?
Is filled with expanded polyurethane to complete.
Well, I say this is apparently part one of a series. So
this dry ice experiment.
I don't think any of the others are in this series, but if they are, we're definitely watching them.
Secondly, they found a means of preventing heat loss through the glass by filling the gap between the panes with special gases, so you have in effect a transparent blanket. When's a window not a window?
Pity you didn't get a new coat, really.
It gives a lovely light and airy feel to the room, while it's perfectly snug and warm on the inside when the door is closed.
He's just locked himself out. Oh, Bill, you idiot. What can be in part 2? Building a hotel complex.
Double-glazed units like this porch, which has added a whole new dimension to this house. Now your house will be free of cold and drafts, as well as being a far quieter place to live in. What's more, your sitting room will be back
after it didn't work out and no one bought a home improvement loan. Part 2 being a slum landlord. Power tools! This is the home improvement that I'm here for.
Every home has to have a few basic tools, if only
that is the odd joke, Matt. And he just trampled all over it.
And most people have a toolbox with perhaps some chisels, a hacksaw, other bits and pieces, and half the homes in
a
this
machete
now have a power tool of some sort, because there's always some little job that has to be done, even in our luxury kitchen.
You're now
what
entering
could
the porch
possibly be
dimension.
missing? A cyclotherm oven? A food processor?
A severed head?
No, just a wall-mounted can.
That's not the Tim Allen noise at all, is it?
Well, we need a small metal detector to prevent drilling into electric wiring or through metal pipes, and a power drill with a variable speed control.
Yeah, well, this has got to be late 80s, early 90s, Claire. I mean, it is a very dated kitchen.
Mark on the
Cuddly toy.
and load in a masonry drill bit for the size of plug that you're going to use. Set the variable speed to the slowest setting to get more control as you start. Then speed it up once you get going. The tape on the tiles helps the drill to grip, and combined with the variable speed, stops the tip carving all over your new tiling.
I can't tell you what to do during this bit, guys, but you know, you're in your homes, just...
And your can opener is up. This paintwork needs stripping and repainting. A hot air stripper.
But I'm not going to do it.
No messy chemicals or naked flames. The hot air stripper does the job cleanly without scorching the wood or wallpaper.
Pulls Aussie Survivor for this. I mean, this has got to be better than
nozzles like this one to protect glass when
if Bill was on Aussie Survivor, he would just kill them all on the first day. Walk around wearing their skin.
On the new high-performance hot air gun, spreads the heat over large areas.
You would just paint over the top, wouldn't you? Yeah.
A jigsaw and a workmate, please.
This section's sponsored by Black & Decker. It might well be.
No, a Black & Decker jigsaw.
Get back to work, you bastard!
They can sort out a lot of household jobs for you.
What the hell?
Just get some face chipboard and shelf bracket system from a local DIY.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
You'll soon be able to
Tim
afford
Allen's
a powered jigsaw
drug dealer
from the money you've
past.
saved by doing the job yourself. Once again, the metal detector steers you clear of trouble. Put out one frame and mark the hole.
How do metal detectors work?
To mark the holes for the opposite frame.
I've never quite understood that.
Then drill the holes. And if it's concrete or really hard brickwork that you're drilling into, switch to the hammer action.
Hoovian says magic, ZX says with physics. I don't know who to believe. Ah, thank you, Claire. They make a beat when they detect metal.
Then plug the holes. You can even take the strain out of putting in the screws.
Thank you, Mac.
By using the drill. Measure and cut the chipboard to length, straight and quick.
Radio, magnetism, I mean...
You have
all
complete
talking
control
nonsense.
to saw in any direction. See? You really could make a jigsaw puzzle.
Yeah, but again, that guy needs to be
brackets
working,
and
not doing
the
your
shells.
crazy puzzles like some kind of saw.
Nice and level, at whatever height you need.
I actually haven't. I watched a bit of it and I was like, I can't really get into this right now. And I just haven't gone back to it yet.
Now, where are we going to put the new video? How about building a shelf for it under the television?
And what are we going to watch on the video player?
Looking shelf to fit in with the reconstituted
Hey,
stone
Moon
fireplace.
Foundation.
So buy a length of thick hardwood, and you can easily justify the cost of a power saw and an electric sander when you look at the value of the whole project.
This video. We don't need another layer of this.
And I can't think how I could have done it without.
I might have to do the same.
Most people would abandon the job now if they had to sand all this by hand. But an electric sander makes it all so effortless. I'd like to finish off the edges, but I wish I had an electric plane.
Well, I mean,
you remembered my birthday.
You would lose.
Now I can plane down the wood to ensure a perfect
especially if you
fit.
did that, the price is right, you would lose every time. Bill is doing this indoors because Bill gives zero fucks.
Put on a couple of coats of varnish, sanding down in between.
Be more like Bill.
And there you are, a job you can be proud of. To do most jobs safely and comfortably, you'll need an extension lead. So this new idea from Black & Decker is a super answer to the problem.
I hope you're right, Chris. It'll go back to that couple at the end of the bank manager will say, do you want the loan? And they'll reply, fuck that, it looks like too much effort.
On such occasions, you will need this, the cordless rechargeable drill.
From Black &
Complete
Decker.
with handy carrying case to carry all the screws and bits and pieces.
Also from Black & Decker.
In fact, There is no doubt that many jobs around the house would simply never get done without having power tools. And of course, they're very inexpensive when you think of the high cost of bringing in a professional.
It depends. There's some very reasonably priced professionals out there.
If on every job you do, you
and some
charge
very
yourself what you
expensive
pay
power
someone else,
tools.
you'll soon build up a workshop full of tools, which will go on saving you money in the future.
Yeah. Was British TV the driest? I think it might have been. I mean, obviously this is a corporate video, so this is, well, not corporate, but this is a sort of instructional home video. But yes, it was.
When you see a professional decorator painting, it all looks so easy, yet somehow...
Although on some of these tapes there is Chinese television, which I might have to show us some of at some point.
It does take time. Time which is expensive in the hands of a decorator. Or misspent if you
Hey, doggy!
ICI, through 10 years of
God, this really is Dulux, isn't it?
A paint system which adds at least 2 more years protection to your house than ordinary paint, so that you don't have to do the job.
The little animation for the numbers is the most exciting part.
Now you sit
I mean, hey, whatever people want to get out of this afternoon.
To start with, you need the right tools. Some of these are essential, others will depend on the job you intend to do.
Yeah, I mean, this is, you know, in theory a video by Halifax, but it is clearly in association with certain stores and certain brands.
Thanks. These windows have got into a bad state because
Is
they're
Chinese
constantly
TV
exposed
crazy?
to wood's worst enemies: moisture, the ultraviolet rays of sunlight.
I mean, I know that.
Thorough preparation is the most important part of it.
Yeah, Japanese TV
Once
has
you've
some
sanded,
crazy stuff on it. I don't know if
sealed,
Chinese TV is
surface,
quite.
The finish will always look good and last.
You know,
longer.
they're quite restrained culturally, aren't they?
So first take off any old flaky paintwork. A hot air strip is best, because a blowtorch could
restricted
crack
anyway.
the glass and scorch the wood.
Cuts to keeping up
All
appearances.
loose and
That'd
cracked
be
putty
cool.
must be raked out. But any putty in paint which is still sound need only be rubbed down and dusted off. Any wood knots or resinous streaks should be sealed with a thin coat of knotting, or they'll discolour the paint. Now we come to the Weather Shield exterior gloss system, and remember all 3 parts complement
He's
each
got his
other.
caretaker coat on now.
Each one contains a fungicide.
That job
which
takes
is effective
ages. I
against
mean, it
rot,
can't have taken
mold,
ages.
and blue
Bill would have
stains.
told us that.
So there's a thorough barrier between the wood and the elements. So let's tackle the first stage. We apply an exterior preservative primer to all the bare areas, not the good paintwork.
Wasn't he in Game of Thrones?
The most vulnerable parts are the end grains, and this piece demonstrates just how absorbent they are and why they need extra
Dulux
protection.
Weather Shield is good stuff.
Then you have to make good all
There we go,
cracks,
guys.
open joints, nail holes and other flaws with a flexible stopper. Finally, rub down and smooth off. Now we can start painting, and with a large can like this, it's best to decant some into a paint kettle so that you don't spill the whole can.
It's a
So
proper.
here's a trade tip from my
Oh,
professional
there isn't
friend.
one. Biting.
If you're using a new
I had a
brush,
Discord
put
for
tape
about a
around the
week, and I
bristles
was
to
like,
reduce their
I
length
can't be doing
for
this.
greater accuracy on small
It was very
areas.
stressful.
And always work in a new brush like this in undercoat. Now apply a coat of undercoat to all the primed areas and allow it to dry. Always try and keep one side of the paint kettle clean to avoid getting the paint
The
on
order is
brush
all over the
when you leave
place.
it
He
to
got a
rest
load
on
of
the
phones
side.
and lamps before doing the windows and insulation.
Now you have to reglaze with linseed oil putty.
And
let
yet,
this
ZX, I
harden.
think you might be the only person here who actually has any clue
Then
what any of
apply
this
undercoat
means.
overall, which gives an even
Well,
greater
apart from Moon.
protection
No,
against
Moon's done
bacteria.
bits of this.
Finally, we come to the Weather Shield Exterior High Gloss, the third part of the system. This gloss paint, which comes in a wide range of colours, is highly flexible so it can cope with the natural movement of wood. As you can see, it has a high gloss finish, which leaves a long-lasting, brilliant result. Here's another tip. If you're going to use the brush the next day, leave it standing in a jar of water.
Gordon Ramsay making
And when
crispy
you've finished
pancakes. I
completely,
haven't seen
clean
that,
the brushes
no.
in Dulux brush cleaner and renovator, or white spirit, and wrap the bristles in paper or tape to keep them
Ah,
straight.
nice, Alex.
Now to sort out the masonry, which is discoloured with age and could do with a new coat of protective paint.
This is Bill's
First of
Doctor
all,
Who
we have to
costume,
scrape
isn't it?
off the algae and mould to get a good base to paint on.
Hey, nobody has got
mould
the
may
mad
seem to
skills
have
Bill
all gone,
has.
but you should brush on a fungicide solution
Oh, of course.
in order
yeah.
to kill off all the tiny spores that remain. After you've left
I
the
guess
fungicide
so,
for 48 hours
Rossop,
to
yeah.
do its job, wash
I'm
it
not-
off with
I'm
clean
not
water
quite
and allow it to dry.
Au fait with Twitch emotes, so yeah.
Any cracks or holes can now be filled with sand and cement or an exterior filler. If you find any powdery or friable surfaces, you should give them a coat of stabilising
Powdery
primer.
or what? If you find any powdery or foigle services.
Now you're ready to roll on or
Having this on 160p on mobile makes it look HD.
It's
I mean,
much
to be
smoother
fair,
and
these
easier
videos
to
are all
apply
quite
than
good
gritty
quality,
masonry paints you
this
can
batch
buy,
of videos.
because it gets its durability from an all-acrylic resin base.
Laugh ugly loud.
Because it's
Yeah,
smooth,
maybe.
not rough and textured, it stays cleaner
Octopus,
longer.
nice. What is that, Hoovian?
Naturally, you can choose from a wide range of town and country colours to suit any house or setting. The main benefit, once the job is done, is that the finish of your walls and woodwork will last a lot longer than ordinary paint, which leaves you a lot more time to play with your family and dog.
That's not his dog. Look at the way it's running away from him. Yeah, he knows. Oh, if we're going to see Bill in the bath, I'm down for this. Or Bill on the toilet.
It's not long ago that bath night was a tub in front of the fire in the parlour.
That is actual archive footage of Bill.
Even now, there are still many bathrooms
Playing
which are
with his little
cold or
boats,
austere places
yeah.
with pretty basic amenities. Few people have large bathrooms, and most of us only have a fairly small area to play with.
He is sitting on the toilet, isn't he?
Bathroom, and I'll show you how it was planned and what you could do in the same space. In the beginning, it was like this: two perky rooms, a bathroom, and
Yeah.
the other a lavatory. We removed the wall here and resited the airing cupboard off the landing to create far more room. Plumbing is fairly simple to move, and you can resite your lavatory, but it makes sense to try and keep it near the existing soil pipe for easy reconnection.
Ooh, he has a bidet. Posh prick.
We decided to block this window and put in a larger one here to create more light, where I'd like the basin and mirror to go. Now we've got our new layout, which uses space much more efficiently.
Of course, apparently he then went on to get diabetes.
An excellent idea is to sit down with some graph paper and cut out some scale drawings of the units you'd like to buy.
No, well, we think that he's probably dead, River Rose.
You'll find that many leading manufacturers have cutouts in their brochures.
I mean, I think he
Shuffle
might
around
have been dead
until you
before
get
this
the
video,
ideal
but
layout.
this video was some time ago. Thank you, Rollstop. It was
Apart
a
from
classic
brochures
pun.
and magazines, you can get a lot of inspiration from seeing complete bathroom sets laid out in larger builders' merchants and specialist bathroom centres. Here, you can get a good feel for the kind of units you'd like. Twyfords have an excellent selection of units to fit most people's tastes.
No, he's out there somewhere
This Olympian
watching
steel
us.
bath has been set in an enclosure of tiling
Bill
to create
Aiken.
an affordable feeling of luxury, with plenty of room
It's
to fling rubber ducks.
EYKYN.
Mirrors, either set into tiles when tiling or mounted onto walls, make a smaller bathroom seem larger. Always try to use mirrors that are copper-backed, as the silver ones tend to go. It's worth keeping one of these demisters you can buy in motor accessory shops to keep them free from steam.
I'm sorry, Dan, but
Okay, hop in, you two. Built-in spaces at each
Oh,
end are ideal places to keep your bubble baths, soap dishes and plants.
do you need help, guys?
These ferns are made of silk because
I
many
think so
plants
did
find it
I.
very difficult to
Biting.
live in a bathroom.
No, that's wrong.
It's important that the fitting should coordinate.
Well, the
with the
Twitter
suite,
was
which
tweeting
is one
out
very good reason why Twyford has
because
designed their own.
there wasn't actually.
This new fashion colour, sorbet, has all its own accessories, so you should get.
I'd be
tiles
very
to match.
tempted. Biting, yeah.
A heated towel rail is important in a bathroom. Apart from drying the towels, it acts as a radiator to keep the room
I mean
warm.
that could be quite interesting, definitely. Yeah.
Furthermore, it should be plumbed into the primary hot
Get
water
out of their
supply, the
bathroom.
storage tank, so that it works in summer when the central heating is off.
While this lavatory has good clean lines
I
with a
think
slope
this
truss
is
system
fine
against
for
the wall,
Twitch. Yeah.
you might consider
Yeah,
this
it was
more
automated,
sheet.
so I guess maybe someone's playing
It
Scrabble
also
on his
provides a
Facebook
useful
account.
shelf.
I don't know.
The basin too is a matter of preference. Some people like a mixer tap with a pop-up waste, while others prefer separate taps with a plug-in chain.
Incidentally, while you've got a plumber, it might be useful putting a wash basin into an adjoining bedroom. You never know. It might just stop the morning rush hour to the bathroom.
Oh, they do
Right,
take so
all
long
changed
in the
to the new
bathroom,
bath.
don't they, ladies? I
This
imagine.
is another fashion colour called platinum in the Twyford's Jupiter
Why
range.
do we need to have the kids in the bath? This
time we've put the bath against a different wall and put a hinge
No,
screen
but
for
there's
the shower
48
at
of
the
us
end.
here.
For a touch of luxury, we brought the carpet right up the sides of the bath. We could have tiled the surround, or
Very
even put
droll.
on matching panels.
There's no reason for these kids to be here. Get them out.
Good lighting is essential, but for
It wasn't
safety,
necessary,
you must
no.
have pull cords, or else have switches outside the room. If you want net curtains at your windows, here's a novel idea to save you drilling your tiles. A spring-loaded, telescopic pole wedged between the walls, like this.
So there we are, a fully tiled and coordinated bathroom. Doesn't that look super?
How do you mean biting?
While many people like to have a bath with a shower unit, some prefer to have a built-in shower on its own.
Twyford's make a selection of trays and surrounds, but when it comes to the shower itself, well, you'll have to wait for the next
He
chapter.
keeps talking about good lighting, but the lighting is shit. Yeah. Oh, here's another animation for Claire. What? Showers, right. Took me a minute. Oh, I thought we were going to see Bill in the shower there.
And it uses only about 20% of the water a bath does. But what sort of showers are there? And which is the right one for
No,
you?
Bill's going to
Just let me
demonstrate the
sit at
showers,
chair,
said
and I'll tell you.
There are two basic sorts of shower. A mixer shower, which as the name suggests,
Staring into my
mixes
soul.
hot and cold water drawn from the storage tanks, and an instantaneous electric shower, which heats
Yeah,
up the
I'm not going to do
co-mains
that,
water
biting, because
to deliver you
it's
a
not my
shower
content.
wherever you want it. Each one has its advantages.
You know,
and you should
yeah.
consider both options. So I invited Walker,
So
the market leader.
You know,
and
I
the only
might
British
sort of
manufacturer
do
to
reruns
make
of streams and
both
things from time to
explain
time,
me
but
the pros and cons of each.
yeah, I'm not just going to stream stuff that I don't own, you know.
The main advantage of a mixer type is its controllability. The best models have separate controls for the spray force and temperature.
Spray
Some models
force.
have a built-in thermostat, so you won't suddenly get a hotter
I want to
shower
make some
when
kind of
someone
joke
else
about the
turns on a
flash,
tap
but I
or
can't
flushes
quite
the loo.
get there.
This shower, the Mara 915,
Oh, yes,
controls the
Bill's
water
in the
temperature
shower.
thermoscopically to ensure complete safety.
I looked it
The
up,
sensor
Raw Sock.
detects any sudden
Nipples are
change in the
fine
mixed
as
water
well.
temperature caused by
It's
pressure
not so much
fluctuations
nipples that are banned
and
as
immediately adjust
sexualized
to maintain the
contexts.
chosen temperature.
Um,
On the other hand, instantaneous electric showers have become very popular.
Yeah, they're not my
because you
family,
don't need
though,
a hot
biting,
water supply,
which is why I'm a
only
bit iffy
cold
about it.
mains water.
And I think, yeah, there's nothing sexualized about Bill
So they are
at
easy
all.
to install
So we're
almost
safe.
anywhere in any kind of house or flat.
Hey, Alistair.
The water is heated in this box of tricks, mounted within the shower, which works rather like an electric kettle, only almost instantaneously, to get the water to showering temperature.
Bring on the nips.
Here we find another difference between the mixer and instantaneous electric system. The force of the spray coming from an electric shower will fluctuate according to the temperature of the incoming mains cold water.
That looks like an
In
absolute
winter,
death
when
trap.
the water is icy cold, the spray force will be marginally reduced because it takes a bit longer for the system
What are you
to heat up
talking
the
about?
water.
What's not
So
sexualised
this is
about Bill?
partially
Good point.
remedied by the
This
Mara
whole video is a
XT
breach of the T's and
8.3
C's.
kilowatt shower, which is equipped with a more powerful heater. In a mixer system, on the other hand, the spray force remains constant because the system works purely by gravity. The cold water storage tank in your loft,
Sprayed
which has
force,
to be at least
speed
3 feet
force.
higher than your shower head, provides sufficient fall to maintain a good, constant force of spray in your shower below.
Make your own jokes, guys.
However,
I'm just the guy
if
who
you've
presses
not
play on the
sufficient fall,
tapes.
You can always fit a pump. So a mixer system with a good fall, or boosted by a pump, will always be wetter to shower under than an electric system. However, an electric
See you
system
in
will always
Twitch
be
chat.
more flexible because you can
Yeah,
install it in place
I mean,
of a
there
mixer
is.
system
I'm
that never
always a
operates,
bit
say in a
sort
loft
of
conversion above your water tanks.
nervous that I'm
And
going to
another
get
thing you can be
kicked
sure
off
with
at
an
some
electric
point.
system
You know, because
is
it
will
is.
never run out of hot water when it comes to your turn to have a
You
shower.
know, it's a lot of it is
Now, where do you put a shower?
copyrighted
The most
content.
convenient place is in the bathroom, over the bath. The services and waste disposal are all ready to hand, and all you need is a screen. Well, you could install a two-sided shower cubicle like this
For now
one
on,
in the
it will be
corner
known as
to
shower.
make an extra facility. And I like the seat that can be incorporated, which is particularly good for the elderly or infirm. A four-sided shower cubicle can go almost anywhere. In a bedroom,
No, not this particular one,
On a
Rollsock,
landing?
but yeah.
in
Yeah.
fact, just where you fancy
Yeah,
one.
no, it's. I mean, the rules on the nipple thing, I think I'm fine because, as I say, the rules are more about
If you want a
sexualised
bit more
content.
elbow room and a more solid construction than a standard shower enclosure.
If someone
normally
sexualised Bill, he would be
offers, it is
aching.
easy enough
blimey.
to build a timber stud and plasterboard enclosure.
He's gone absolutely mental. I forgot what I said.
Tiled
Yeah.
inside and across
But you
the
know, yeah,
side,
when you know, I'm showing stuff like that sitcom the other day. It's like, yeah, it's
inside,
if they want,
you've
if
got
so,
a
you know,
spray head
if someone
which can be
reported me and was
angled
like,
in
he's
any
watching
direction you
copyrighted
want.
content, I'm sure they'd be inclined to go,
Always
yeah,
remember to install
nip
any
that in the
shower
bud.
head on a side wall and not opposite the doors. This way you won't inadvertently spray the water out into the room if
Yeah.
the doors are opened.
Reused footage alert. I mean, who can tell
You
at
really
this
should
point?
read the Mara shower book. It tells the whole story of mixer and electric showering and is well worth getting before
We
you
talked
switch
through
to
it.
shower.
Yeah, that's it. You know, there's
Let's see what towers and tiling are all about.
arguments for fair use. I don't know. I've got the virus. That was the same stud
When it
wall
comes
from
to
earlier,
tiling,
right?
there are really only two things you need to do.
Does
Use the
anyone else,
tiles
whenever they
to stick
get
them on the
like
wall.
one,
The
like
second
more than
part's
one
a
cough
very
in an
easy
hour,
DIY job.
and
But when it
every
comes to
time do
choosing
they
the
go,
tiles you
"Ooh,
want,
is this
well,
it?
that's not
Have I
so
got it
easy.
now?"
Just look at this landscape flying past as the biggest
You
choice
missed
of
the Sam
ceramic wall
Fox
tiles
cameo.
in Britain. It's called the Crystal Range.
Yeah, music videos and
The
stuff
tiles
might
are
be
designed
might
to
be tricky.
coordinate with every possible colour scheme and decorative style.
I mean,
Now,
you
we
make
thought
it sound
about
bad
that
when you
with
put
the
it like
bathroom
that.
suite, and that was certainly a candidate. But this was the final
That's your
choice,
favourite
called
book.
Country Garden. What do you think?
Why?
Then for the Platinum Suite, this Cleopatra in Wild Sage, a larger than normal tile, gives a marvellous effect.
I got you, Chris. Yeah.
For the tile shower room in Camellia, we used Country Garden again in a different colour and layout. It worked rather well, really. And for the surround for the
Previously
gas bar in the
on
living
the
room,
Halifax
we
Guide
chose
to Home
this.
Improvement. Hey, hashtag.
Now let's see what tiles would be
I think
suitable for the
everything's a
kitchen.
kind of beige.
I must say, some of these tiles are so gorgeous you could just frame them as a picture.
Oh,
Thank you. I'll hang that up. What about this for the kitchen?
yeah, there'll be raisins by the end of it.
It's called Impressions.
If you follow the very simple rules set out in this free booklet, you'll find that tiling is a piece of cake.
What's that manoeuvre?
First of all, these are the tools you'll need. a trowel and a tile cutter,
No, you won't hang a
Wire.
tile up as a picture.
coarse
No.
sandpaper, ruler, plumb line, spirit level, lathes of wood,
Bill doesn't seem
hammer
like
and
he's done a
nails,
day's manual work in his
and a
life.
sponge. And of course, you'll need a bucket of adhesive, grout, and the right
Adhesive.
number of tiles. And the booklet gives you a simple guide on how to calculate the right amount.
Well, I don't know if he did catch it, because he was just holding it, wasn't he?
The first thing to do is to take all the plain tiles out of the packs and separate those which are glazed on one end, or two adjacent ends. Keep those for corners and edges.
Question is Bill married? I can never work out the whole ring thing.
Mix up the rest of the plain tiles. All tiles, even crystal, vary slightly in colour. So
Until
never
this was
use them
before
patch
health
by
and safety
patch.
went mad. I mean, I don't think they were in fashion. I think they were used.
Now, one tile high off the lowest point of the bottom edge, mark where you're going to
It's
tack
just a
the wood
tile,
along
isn't
the
it?
wall. Mark up the lathe a tile width along as a
Oh,
measurement.
nice, I love you. Well, do let me know how that goes.
And tack it centred on the wall.
Ah, you like to keep it open, do you, Ross up? Hmm?
And check it's horizontal with the spirit level. Then you're ready to spread the adhesive with the trowel.
Don't draw on the walls. Kids get in trouble for that.
No more than about a square metre at a time.
Not exactly, Derry
Clean
Girl.
it out
It's
with a
late
spreader.
80s, early 90s, but yeah, not quite sure.
And away you go, applying the tiles.
Maybe
to the
there'll be a
wall.
date at the end of it. You'll wait till the Amazon warehouse has calmed down a bit. Good call. I must, you know, what can I say, Rolstuff? I'm sorry about the state of your marriage. Yeah. But you know, if it works for you guys,
is the
oh,
angled
that's-
edge, which gives you the exact.
That
spacing
isn't
for
Bill,
grouting.
stunt Bill.
No need for
Yeah, I was
matchstick.
wondering that.
Now you've finished with the whole tiles, you'll need to cut the tiles for the edges. Mark the tile. Never use a marker pen on
Bill
the back.
can be my sugar
as the
daddy.
ink
I
may
mean,
seep through the
again,
tile and stain the
fairly sure
glaze.
he's dead.
Then
I
score
know
the
some
glaze
people don't
side
like the
and place
reality of
tile
that,
on a
but
matchstick. Push down.
don't mention the
and
A
hey
word.
presto.
Oh, Amazon, right? Sorry, not Amazon.
You
Amazing.
probably also
Yeah.
need to cut tiles
Amazing.
in around the power points. Score round the parts that need to be removed,
Kylie and Jason,
then
possibly.
diagonally
Yeah.
score this area to be nibbled away.
Oh, I bet he was one of those horrible
And smooth
expats
down
who
with the
like didn't
carburetor.
learn English. Didn't learn Spanish. And Dan,
Finally, take the
Dan.
battening down when they've all set.
Dan,
You can then fill in the bottom row
Dan.
and start grouting. But not for at least 12 hours.
Yes, very
For a
nice,
truly
Bill. You can
professional
pretend you
finish,
did it.
Draw the round end of the tile cutter, or a lollipop stick, along the joints. Wait for it to dry
I don't know. Where do you get a stylish
and
sweater like
polish
that?
off with a clean, dry cloth.
Grouting his safe word. Yeah. No, I'm with Ian on this. Maybe he doesn't have any boundaries. Oh, the dead thing. Yeah, no, he's dead. Hey, don't knock Cotton Traders biting. They do
The
clothes that
kitchen
fit
used to be
me.
the hot, steamy engine room of the house, where everything was toil and bubble.
They do clothes that
But
fit me.
nowadays, with the emphasis on cool, practical elegance, the kitchen has been
We're at
elevated to
17,
the
yeah.
position of a push-button
You know,
bridge
it's
of a sleek
upsetting.
modern liner.
Never mind the sweater, no safety glasses.
Kitchens
This
are viewed
guy
by
accident
house
waiting
buyers as
to
key
happen.
rooms in a house. So any money you spend on a lovely kitchen could well make a profit for you when you
think
come
we
to
all
sell
would,
your house
hashtag.
one day.
How then should you set about redesigning your kitchen?
This basically is our cameo range, which is
Well,
probably one
most of the leading fitted kitchen manufacturers offer a free design and planning service. So I sat down with a consultant from Schreiber.
Schreiber? Wow, that came out of nowhere, didn't it?
And together we planned out my
yeah, no
ideal
worries,
kitchen.
Trumps. Cool, practical elegance.
And using all four walls to optimum effect, we came up with this design.
They were, weren't they, also? Yeah.
This
I'm
was
hoping
then
that the
turned
couple
into
do
a
come back at
reality
the end
by
and we
their
get to see
skilled
what
team.
happened with their house.
Installing a kitchen might sound like a complex
I mean, I'm
job,
hoping that
but
we
in
just
the
see
hands
them
of
kind of
experienced
begging in a
professionals,
doorway.
It is a
So-
comparatively fast and
Well,
fuss-free operation.
they didn't get it right, but maybe you will. He does all the
units
tiles in
themselves
his
have all
kitchen,
been
then
through a
gets it
vigorous quality
refitted.
control procedure before leaving the factory. The installers have to ensure that the units are level, the work surfaces are perfectly aligned, and button scribed.
You're banking on a happy end. I mean,
So that the overall finish
Banking.
is just as you expected.
oh, there's phones everywhere around him here. Don't get us started.
With most houses,
You know,
all the work is done in a
oh,
couple of days.
they went mad with phones. It was
Now let's have a look at how this kitchen was
just
thought out
spamming
in
phones.
terms of storage, preparation, cooking.
what
and
they
washing
won't
up.
show you in this video is trying to
You
get the
always
kitchen
need as
seller
much
out
storage
after
as
being
you
there
can
all
get
day.
for food,
Yeah.
utensils, and crockery.
So we put the bulk food on
Ooh
this
la
side.
la!
And here's a marvellous storage unit, 4 drawers.
Even
deep.
have cordless
And
phones,
notice
yeah.
this panel on the outside, which in fact conceals the usually unsightly exterior of the fridge.
Oh.
While over here we've put the sink with a good work surface for preparation on either side.
That's a cracking work surface.
These excellent strip lights underneath the wall units allow you to see exactly what you're doing. Absolutely essential.
He's a Time Lord. That
It is
shower
equally
cubicle
important
was
that
his
you have
TARDIS.
sufficient power
He can
points
do
for
it
all
all
the
out of order
labour-saving
because
devices.
timey-wimey.
And for safety's sake, make sure that none are within the reach of the sink.
Can you,
It
Vivian?
is always best to have too many power points than too few, so you're not tempted to overload any. And here we have a waste bin which opens with the door under the sink. A set of drawers for cutlery, cooking utensils, and other things.
No, maybe not. Maybe
Now,
this
by
is the
way,
one
what
aspect
most
of the
people
video
have
that isn't
done
sponsored.
is to have the sink and preparation area. But how much nicer to have this retractable table
Oh,
to have your
Bill's
lunch.
got a little bottle of red on the go.
With the dishwasher close by the sink on one side, again hidden by the panel, and a further storage on the other side. Now we come to an unusual feature. The
An
cooker
oven.
in the corner, with an extraction fan above it. A really novel way of using a corner to the full, with plenty of work surface on either side, and a good place for storing seasonings behind,
What?
just where you need them. Again, more storage for cooking equipment and for crockery, and a dishing up area for service through
Oh,
to the
Bill was
dining.
well ahead of his time when it came to phones.
These end units are really useful for decorations and recipe books. And this small filler area can house a tea cloths.
What?
Most kitchens are covered with
Oh,
floor
Bill,
tiles
you
or other
clumsy
hard flooring.
bugger.
But there's every reason to use a carpet, especially if it's treated to resist dirt and stains, as it's so much warmer and quieter.
There's no
Quieter.
doubt that Schreiber have come up with a very practical kitchen, and it's quite clear that the units, drawers, and work
What's that
surfaces
pose? Is he
are very
sitting on
well made
something?
and long-lasting. So now let's consider the colour schemes.
This kitchen, with its grey doors
Get the
and
dog
white
back
trim, is
into
called
it.
Cameo Pearl
The dog
Grey.
went home when Julix
But
went
what adds
home.
a certain je ne sais quoi are these little yellow
Don't
drawers
carpet
in
your
the
kitchen, you
colour.
loon. Yeah.
But perhaps you might prefer a completely different colour scheme for the whole kitchen. Pink with the Moon Beach worktop creates yet another effect.
Then again, this Aspen
Bill's a
kitchen
crazy
with its
man.
white frame finish and complementary work surface
This is where
both
Bill's
very
butler
smart
sorts out his food.
and
Yeah.
very popular.
There's a huge choice available, and you really should go to one of their showrooms dotted around the country and take a look at their mocked-up kitchen sets for yourself and get some free technical and design
Hey, Bill's an
advice.
enlightened guy,
It's the only
Vivian.
way to get a feel for what you want.
If you can hive off a bit of your kitchen and turn it into a utility room,
He's probably
you'll
got
get an
carpet in the
extremely
bathroom as
useful
well,
facility.
Lisa, yeah.
It doesn't have to be a large space, but it can give you extra storage for the ironing board,
Oh, Danny
another
Baker's
sink
been
maybe,
round.
the washing machine, some room for your boiler, a side entrance to the house, and a place for hanging coats.
Come on, give us the rest of the tour.
Of course, you can go and
Hi, you just caught me casually reading while perched awkwardly on the kitchen
but to add
desktop.
lasting value to your house, it's well worth getting the advice from a firm like Schreiber to ensure that you end up with exactly the kind of kitchen you really want.
That's no way of relaxing. Bedroom. This is what we're here for, guys. Bedrooms. Come on.
It's lovely looking through glossy magazines to see how other people live, but unfortunately, such personally designed rooms don't usually fall into one's price bracket. But if you want a new bedroom,
I don't believe that Bill can't afford that for a second.
There is a firm called Room Sets, who make individually designed bedrooms at a price you can afford.
This is a beautiful bedroom, designed especially for us from their country's scene collection.
This is where the magic happens.
But of course, it didn't just appear out of thin air. So how do you start?
Do it to any scale.
Room Sets have a very personal approach. One of their design consultants produces a scale model of the room you want to fit out, and together you start working.
Well,
out all
I'm
the
glad you
different
followed me
permutations
too.
for the units you need in your bedroom.
And
There are
yeah,
so
thank
many
you. This is
alternatives that by doing it this way, you usually get
usually
a
it's
far
a little
better
bit
idea
more kind of.
how your room will look.
It's never very fast paced, but we usually watch several bits of tapes and lots of adverts. But yeah, as I say, Bill.
Now for a start, what we need is lots of hanging.
As I say, when I saw this tape, sort of the beginning of it yesterday, I'm like, no, I've just got to stream this in its entirety.
Yes, that's looking absolutely great.
Teeny tiny
Now,
Bill.
what about a dressing table by the way?
Grandpa in my pocket.
No. Try where the fireplace is.
Tissue compression illuminator. Yeah.
Now another wardrobe on the other side. Good. Now can we squeeze another one in? Hey, careful up there. Good, that's better. Thank you.
This is the highlight.
Oh, that's nice. Now, what about some
This is a man crying for help.
Why not stick some cushions on as a window seat? I say this is tremendous fun. Now, if we put an ensuite bathroom through
I feel like he genuinely believed that.
Whoops. We end up with a dramatically different kind of bedroom altogether.
These designer bedrooms by Room Sets.
I like that his voice was still echoing when he grew big.
Can be arranged in practically any way you like.
Once you've established your room layout, the model is converted into a detailed plan for the factory.
By a mad scientist working in the
The
dark.
personally designed units are then made on a high-technology production line and installed in your home by a highly trained team, usually in a day.
Thank you.
Each drawer can be removed easily for cleaning, won't tip up, and glides silently in on nylon wheels.
I very much think that Bill is the only one who wants to be involved
The
in
concealed
this.
hinges swing inwards, so the edges of even the most closely fitted doors cannot scrape your walls. Adjustable feet compensate for uneven floors
And
by
we're back
leveling
to
your
the
cupboards and drawers.
usual old shit.
Much thought has gone into providing ample storage space, including features such as this sliding shoe basket.
These are all Bill's clothes, by the way.
And unique cantilevered
Yeah.
rail.
See, everything you thought about Bill is wrong.
With the variety of finishes to the doors and the choice of colour and decorative pattern styles, there are in fact over 700 designs from which you can choose.
Then add to that a wide selection of handles, and you can ensure that you'll have a very individual room. A lot of rooms have irregular features which have to be dealt with at the
very
design
fluid.
stage. For example, an old chimney breast can either be
I
designed
don't think that Bill
or
adheres
designed
to
out.
old-fashioned labels. Hashtag.
And by coordinating features such as this vanity unit, you can echo the character of adjoining rooms.
I feel like there's very little that Bill won't be interested in sexually.
Here, the same material on the front of the units is being applied to the wall.
It hasn't come up in the plot. No. Bill in a dress and high
This
heels
unique
tied to the
slub
bed
of
shouting,
fabric,
"Grouting!"
woven in room-high rolls, has a cushion backing which makes the room
I
quieter
would watch
and
a series
warmer.
of Doctor Who with Bill as the lead. I'm just saying.
Using a special adhesive applied to the perimeter of your walls, the fabric is stretched over the surface and bonded to it. Sheer extravagance.
Shah extravagance.
As you might expect, room sets can create marvels almost anywhere, even in a small space for a child to sleep and play, and grow into a teenager who needs a workstation for studying.
Wow. Carpeted walls too now.
And how about this for a
Bill
room?
loves a bit of
The
carpet.
modern equivalent of the four-poster. And cupboards finished with foils on cream.
Oh, that'd be great if they had just brought him
This
back as a
unique cupboard
hologram.
is specially designed for the corner of a room where space would otherwise be wasted. And incorporated within this unit is a cleverly designed shoe cupboard. On the other hand, this design allows for twin beds.
Push them together,
Ideal
Bill.
spare room.
Come on,
So many
mate.
people work from home these days that it's sometimes necessary to turn
Many,
the
many
bedroom
people work from
into
home
a
these days.
home office. Equipped with attractive storage units from room sets, so you can combine elegance with efficiency.
What is this? I mean,
And you can always turn the room back
this
into
is
a
Bill.
bedroom later on.
This is Bill's
This brochure
life.
contains lots more
Ella.
ideas for any kind of room you can imagine. Have a look, and you'll soon start designing your own bedroom. Let's look more closely at some of the window dressings we've seen in this and other rooms.
Bill was a visionary. Window dressing. Yeah, I mean, the
When
videos
the
seem
rest
to
of
be
the
from
room is
kind
dressed,
of
and rather
sort of
beautifully
80s,
so at that,
sort of, yeah,
if you leave the
87 to
windows
about 95,
undressed,
so
they do look very stark.
this is where he logs on to Pornhub.
Apart from the privacy curtains afford,
Chapter
they help to
19
keep the
already,
warmth
I
in the
know,
room.
ZX, but we've been
Which
here
is
just over 2
particularly
hours
important
now.
if you only have
You
single
know?
glazed windows. In fact, curtains are a central feature.
It's at the earliest
and need to be
1985 because of a
coordinated with your
book he
entire
showed.
decor.
There are two basic ingredients for window dressing: the hardware, poles, tracks, fixings.
I
and
know,
so on,
guys, I know. Everything's
and
got
the
to come to
style
an
and
end
makeup for
sometime, you know?
curtains, headings, ties, and other features.
20 chapters.
The rails are
Random
available
hero.
in different adjustable sizes. It's always important
But
for
we've
the
been
rail
on
to
a
extend
journey
either side of the
today.
window. This extra length
You
prevents
know,
light from
we've all
spilling around
learned
the sides
how,
of the
basically
curtain.
how to build a
It
house from
also allows
scratch.
for more
I
guiders
mean,
on the rail so that the curtains hang better. The curtains themselves coordinate with the bedspread,
you were going by shoe styles.
complementing its features, colours and patterns.
You know, we are
And with
all
the
going to have
curtains
some
which conceal the
amazing
shower room opening
homes at the
opposite.
end of this.
In our second room set for the main bedroom, the antique white chateau design blends in beautifully with the furniture.
And the tie-backs make a most attractive archway with the curtains open.
Now in here we're going to use the monorail discrete track, which you can fix very easily.
Some would say it's
yourself.
gone quick, Daddy Dino.
This time, we're going to adapt the rail to take a Roman blind. Having bought the right length of track, the stops are put in at intervals to thread the cords through. Windows often have concrete lintels.
Oh,
so that you
absolutely,
need a
Ross.
masonry
No,
drill
it's a
bit,
bit.
and
The
if
fact we've all
possible, a
been
hammer
here
action
watching
drill.
it is great.
Then off you go, having marked the positions first.
Fuck getting home
Mount
cover,
the
I'm going to
track
build
onto a
my own
batten
place.
shaped to the window recess and face it with Velcro. Plug the hose and screw the batten firmly into place.
Plug the hose.
Now you're ready to hang your blinds.
I don't think they did, Chris. No, sorry. I didn't notice it.
Once hung into position, it pulls up and down with a neat folded effect and provides an elegant modern alternative to curtains.
I mean, Lisa, I can't be held responsible for... What have I learned so far?
This half tester, as it's called,
Bill likes
over the
phones
bed,
and
creates
carpet.
a marvellous effect by using the consort
That's my main
track
takeaway from
in
it.
conjunction with the soffit board, and it produces a very feminine feel to the room.
And for the headboard, we've
And
used
that
a
he
new
can't
solid
pronounce
brass
shower.
heirloom rail to hang cushions on.
Shaw.
And with mini downlighters set in the soffit above, you have a very graceful setting with a hint of a four-poster.
Now, if a large or
And my
window
wife is
like
going
this
to get
one, you might
absolutely
think you've got a
ruined on there
problem.
tonight.
But with this simple form, you can measure the points indicated,
And your retailer will pre-bend the Kirsch regular rail so that it fits exactly. It can either be face or top fixed, that is, screwed upwards into the soffit like this, or wall mounted. Then with this custom-made curtain from British home stores, you have a really super window dressing that opens and shuts
Needs a mirrored
smoothly.
ceiling.
If you have a patio door to curtain, you might like to try this for an idea.
make up a pelmet with a 6-inch wide plank and face it with 2 inches of hardboard.
There's only one
wrap
6
matching or
wide,
toning
6 feet
fabric
wide
around
plank
it.
here, Bill. Aye.
Anchor the material with fine tacks or a staple gun
Yeah, do let us know, Chris.
and fit a Kirsch track underneath and fix to the wall with brackets.
I think so. I love you. Yeah, she just popped up. I mean, I'm hoping we'll get some closure with the couple who were asking for
Then,
finance.
with the easy pleat heading and 4-prong hooks,
But I
fit the
can't see
curtains
we're
to
going to
the
get
track.
any resolution to her plot.
To leave the first
Like,
6 inches of
did
the curtain
her-
without a pleat
did her
and
source
pinned to a
work?
board, so that there's no gap between wall and curtain.
Lady friend's half his age that he brings home in his
For added
sports
luxury,
car.
why not have a sesame curtain rail motor? And you have a smooth way of drawing your curtains without them ever ballooning out.
God, can you imagine?
Now, isn't that an elegant...
You're just there and suddenly Bill's like, oh, you're not going anywhere.
Here we've used a decker pole, which comes in 3
This
different
tape asks more
dimensions and a
questions than it
range of
answers.
finishes
It does. It
to
does.
suit any colour scheme.
Really nice curtains fitted on good quality tracks and poles make all the difference to a
Yeah,
room.
come on down. We won't
So
have
when you're
cheap
out window
innuendo
shopping,
here.
Look for this sign in shops. It means that staff have attended a special training scheme run by Antiference and are
Wow.
fully qualified to advise you on all aspects of fitting curtain tracks and achieving the best effects with your window dressings.
Number 20. Whoa! Shit! Number 20, the whole house is on fire.
Common.
A chimney, a frozen chicken, and a
Bill's
carrot.
gonna collect.
They can all be insured.
If your chimney is damaged in a storm and needs rebuilding... you
Where's
can
the
make a
dog
claim
and
for
how
repair
come Bill
costs.
only uses his
If
size
your
shifting
frozen
for
chicken
banal
goes foul in your
purposes?
freezer because the motor breaks down, you may be able to make a claim for that too. In fact, some
Wait.
policies automatically provide
Did
for
we
freezer
need green
cover.
screen for this moment?
If somebody broke into your house and stole your valuable carriage clock, you could receive prompt
A
payment
special
for a
course about
replacement.
curtain tracks, yeah.
Many people just don't understand insurance. In fact, modern household proposals are usually
Insurance.
written very simply. Often it's just a question of ticking boxes marked yes or no according to the cover you need.
If
Each
you
year,
don't know the
a renewal
answer,
schedule is
just
sent to you
guess.
to let you know the revised premium and
You have a
exactly how much
50-50
you're
chance
insured
of getting
for.
it right.
But no policy can cover you for everything.
Sonic
The
bangs,
Sunlight
ah,
and
man.
Allowance Insurance settles over 400,000 claims each year. And here are 5
I
typical
need,
examples.
yeah, I've...
This chip pan has caught fire, causing considerable damage to the kitchen, and all the surrounding decorations have been ruined by smoke. Claim settled. Every day, 1,000 homes in Britain are burgled, and up to
You could go to
90%
Woolies
of
and
all
buy another
burglaries are
carriage
by
clock for
casual
£4.99.
thieves or opportunists.
I'd say, but I've got
Claim settled.
I've got no protection against this stuff.
Even with toughened glass,
Yeah.
accidents can still happen. Claim settled. Boisterous children charging around the house can cause damage. If you have an accidental damage extension to your contents policy, claim settled. Items which require general maintenance are your responsibility and are not covered by insurance.
Insurance
guttering
always
which
looks
has
like it
fallen
costs so
down,
much. And I'm
claim
like,
rejected.
I can't afford that. Probably should,
With
shouldn't
some
I?
policies, you may have to pay the first part of each claim. This is known as an excess.
Standing on Lego barefoot
But
is
how
a
do you
real
work out
insurance
how
claim.
much you should be insured for in the first place? Let's start with how to insure your house. Every house has 2 values, the market price and the rebuilding cost.
The market value of the property is dependent
Being the
on its
Commodore fan
style,
I am, this
size,
tape
and
has turned
location.
into one of my favourites now.
The
I'm glad.
rebuilding
I'm
cost,
glad.
however, is the amount you need to be insured for, because ultimately it's the bricks and mortar that you will have to replace, not the land itself.
Yeah, I mean, if the land goes,
How
you're
then do you
fucked.
arrive at the correct figure? First of all, you need to know the square footage of your house, so measure up the external area with a tape measure. Most insurance companies provide a step-by-step guide to help you arrive at the right insurance figure. A table like this helps you pinpoint the rebuilding cost per square foot in your area of the country, according to the type of house you have. If you're buying a new house, your building society will do this for you. However,
Please
if
make
you've added
DVD
on an
copies of this for
extension,
everyone as
you'll need
Christmas
to increase
gifts.
your original insurance, and you should take into account such extra items as the cost of putting in a new kitchen, or
That
a
was
new
not a
bathroom,
seamless transition from the video footage to Bill's
or new
voiceover.
built-in bedroom furniture. When it comes to the contents of your house, this is an individual matter, and you really should go from room to room,
Very bad
jotting
edit,
down
yeah.
the replacement value of all the items. What would it cost to replace your furniture, carpets and curtains? Your television, video and hi-fi equipment? What about your books, records and cassettes?
Carpet in the bathroom,
your
carpet
kitchen,
in
you
the
will have a lot of
bedroom,
valuable
carpet in the
items, such as your
kitchen,
cooker,
carpet. Just carpet, carpet, carpet.
Refrigerator and dishwasher.
Bill likes a carpet.
All your china,
Damn it.
glass and cutlery. And don't forget such things as the spirits and drinks.
I never
Presents you
do.
may have been given, or even your clothes.
I'm off my tits right now.
Again, insurance companies like the Sun Alliance produce useful leaflets
I
with
don't
tables
think of-
showing
I mean,
the
they're
sort of
irreplaceable,
items that
aren't
might
they,
well be
really?
in people's houses, with examples of the sort of values involved. You'll be surprised at just how much all the items in your house add up to. And to get full value, should disaster strike, you really must be fully insured. Insurance cannot stop a disaster happening. The feeling of having
I'd
one's
love to
house
see the
violated
outtakes.
is as shocking
You
to
know,
many people
I'm
as
hoping
the
at
loss
the end there'll be a
itself.
nice little gag reel.
So how can you best help to protect your home and your family?
Random children again.
With buildings, it is a question of proper and regular maintenance.
Because really, we couldn't visualise what having a
In your
family would
home,
look like
being more
without
safety
seeing
and security conscious.
those two random children.
Fit good quality locks to doors and windows. And use them. You should also be aware of dangers such as using blow lamps. Use time
That isn't
switches
right,
when you're
Diva.
out to give the impression that someone's in, and ask your neighbours to keep an eye on your property when you're away.
And have like cardboard silhouettes up against the window.
You should
and
know where the water stopcock is.
lots
in
of other
case an
stuff that you got from
emergency.
Home Alone.
And write your name and postcode on your valuables in invisible ink using a special
Yeah, that's
marker
true,
pen.
Dan. We did at least have that resolved, that the kids did get out of
The
the bath.
writing only shows up under ultraviolet light. In fact, to help you make a start on making yours a safe and secure home, the Sun Alliance... Britain's
Welcome back,
largest
David. We're
is giving away
I
free
think Bill's
one of
wrapping
these
up, but
special
it's
marker
quite hard
pens.
to tell
All you have to
because
do
his
is
delivery
print
has
one
been
in the booklet
unchanged throughout.
and send it to the company.
Written and presented. Wow. Hey, don't we get the couple from the beginning? Guys! I want to know what happened to the couple. That just ended. He didn't... Yeah, you're right. You could have at least said goodbye, Bill. Thank you, David. That was Alex at Mercy and Media on Twitter. 1986. Well, and at least we got a date. At least we got a date, but... Yeah, I feel cheated too, Rossop. That was... There's not going to be a gag reel, is there? Didn't even say who played them. No. Why would you credit actors? Actually, I mean, they probably asked not to be credited on that, but... Even so... So hopefully they've taped a Bluey on the end of this, because this is not this is not the actual video. This is clearly a pirated version of the Halifax Guide to Home whatever. Anticlimax is the word, yeah. I mean, it seemed likely that they were getting the loan. I think we can probably assume that they got the loan. Bill Aiken will return in. How to make your garden look nice. I'm guessing it involves carpet. You're very welcome, Rich. Yeah. Thank you all for joining me. This would not have been... Well, it wouldn't have been anything if people hadn't turned up and watched it, because I would have just gone insane after about 20 minutes and gone, I'm not watching any more of this. This is BS. I was 2 years old in 1986, so yeah, there's kind of, as you would expect, there's nothing on the end of that video. Why would anyone pirate that video? I don't know. I mean, I guess that my brother-in-law's mum felt the need, needed that video so much. Right, well, as I say, thank you. I am working the next couple of days. I know, I've got an actual job and stuff. I'll be doing that for the next couple of days, so there won't be any streams until at least Thursday. And, who knows then, because who knows what's going to happen. We could all be in lockdown, the internet could have blown up by then. But yeah, hopefully. I think possibly they did. I don't know. I don't think his mum built a house. I don't know. Anyway, yes, thank you for joining me, guys. It is mad that you would all join me for that. Yeah, do check out the links below if you're not. The Twitter, the YouTube, the PayPal donation if you're so inclined, or you can always subscribe if you've got Twitch Prime and you've enjoyed this. If you've got Amazon Prime, you do get one free Twitch subscription per month, you have to apply it every month. If you've got Amazon Prime and you're not already using it for someone else on Twitch, do feel free to give me that, because you can't spend that money, but I possibly get it, a bit of it. But yeah, otherwise, stay safe, guys. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you towards the end of the week. Bye for now.